Well, that went well. Alright, you boob tubes. Yeah, that's better. See, trying to. Oh, Jesus Jones. See, trying to feed yourself and stick to a 8 o'clock start. It's harder than you would think. Especially for me. Anyway, in the evening, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining. Those in the chat, how you doing, Blazing, my man? I don't know if you were reading the WhatsApp thing with my jig. Alan's out doing the karaokeing. Kinda close. We'll need to go and check it out one night. It's a regular gig. Anyway, welcome everybody. So, it's a new show, a new Hitler haircut. The show's called Back to the Future because all the show notes that I've done throughout the years I've kept in the kind of Firefox bookmark system that I do use. I bet you have no pressed a button here, but I do know I need to push a button. And I thought it'd be interesting to, like, the last 2 days are the first 2 days in months that I've spent any time going through all the channels that I subscribe to, so on and so forth. So, thanks, Blazing. I thought it'd be interesting to go back, look at the stuff that I was looking at, regurgitating, so on and so forth back then, and look at some of the stuff just now and compare my journey to where the sort of the baseline and the point of all this truth information, you know, for RT to Press TV to Ryan Dawson, Mike Rivero, the list goes on and on and on. The talking heads. I think Mike Rivero passed away actually, which was unfortunate. So the primarily focus of this is to go back. Remember when the conspiracies, remember how you get in, I don't know about you guys, I can only speak about myself and think that this is, some people, this resonates with some people and they might share actually a similar journey, in the sense that I started engaging with all this stuff because I was having fun, it was entertaining, it was opening your mind, and it was just like, it was bewilderment. And then after a while, I started noticing that, like, there was people bouncing up and joining the BNP, joining UKIP, and there was a lot of political shit happening. And you only need to look at the information that came out, so on and so forth. I mean, in fact, the best example, and if this doesn't, if the penny doesn't drop after this, it never will. You've just bought hook, line and sinker their propaganda, to be honest. Look when a lot of the so-called figureheads of the talking heads of the YouTube community in the UK all went and joined UKIP. Now this was at a time when Hamilton, what was his first name? Oh, creepy guy. I want to say George, but it's not George. But anyway, if you put in cash for questions, Hamilton. This was the Tory MP that got caught taking money to ask questions in Parliament. You know, democracy, you got to love it. And then he's in UKIP trying to protect fucking British democracy. With a bunch of fucking screaming idiot YouTubers. Sargon of Mossad, Count Spunkula. Did Paul Joseph Watson do it? Can't remember now. But it was a wee squad of them. And they all fucking thought they were all going to fucking become politicians and all that. Now, if that didn't make the penny drop for a lot of people, Neil Hamilton, thank you. 55. Alright, Richie, my man. Hope your new woman's treating you well, my man. You look like you had a smile on your face the other day. So, more and more I started to see this. If people from the truth movement, which was all about truth, started gravitating towards BNP, UKIP, fucking joining UKIP, looking up to these Sargon and Assads as sort of like some sort of a geniuses, some sort of a professor and fucking conspiratardom. I mean, it's as if you can go to the fucking university and get a degree fucking of conspiratardom, man. No, these are just Looney Tunes that are good at selling themselves on the boob tubes. And they've coined it in, man. They're still probably coining it in. More than most, you know what I mean? Since YouTube had to change their whole approach because these motherfuckers were out there getting the cunts like fucking Donald Trump elected and fucking people like Nigel Farage being the fucking bastion of freedom. See when we look back at this stuff, it'll be fucking it'll be fucking hilarious when you look back at this shit like that. Wow, how could I not see like fucking how could I not see when I was started following Tommy Robinson? You know, you would think, see if I didn't have an inquisitive nature, I think I would have fell for Tommy Robinson hook, line and sinker. Right, so I thank the conspiratard world for that. Because I listened to what they were saying. They're like, investigate everything, and they would show you how they actually broke things down. The No Agenda show back in my early days was amazing at that. And I started applying that, the same things that they were doing, investigative techniques, if you want to call it that, follow the money, 9 times out of 10, on the truther movement. And as soon as you done that, let me think. The fact that Mark Dice fell out of fucking university and wrote a book of how to date women, how to catch women or something. You're like, I thought this guy was in the truth movement. Thought he was a conservative. Nah, he's a charlatan that was saying he was looking at all the demographics on the fucking Googles, see what was selling that day. He was, oh man, this truther thing, fucking you can make him in there. Bang on the Alex Jones show, there's another one. In the truther industrial complex, family tree. I remember breaking all this shit down, man, and they're like speaking about it, and you tell people this, and they just, nah, I still love, what about the brown people moats? Anywho, so this is about fun, not fear, right? It's also what have I put here? I'm an anti, fuck have I wrote? I'm anti-magnets. Right, because we're all getting polarised, pulled apart. To repeat some of the kind of conspiracy world rhetoric, divide and conquer, motherfucker. And that's what's happening to us all. That's why you get weirdos beating up weirdos in the street. And don't worry, I have those clips for you later on, and you will see them. So, and I'm sick of like taking this all, like, do you know what I mean? Like sitting here thinking like one person through the power of social medias can save the world, because that's what drives people insane and capable of doing all sorts of crazy ass shit that we all witness. And then 10 million people round them who are already in ball deep in the shit fucking start filming it. And then broadcasting it out over the world. And then people sitting at their PCs watching this, because remember, your PC doesn't lie to you, it's only the TV. And it just, it propagates the message. And again, propaganda doesn't have to be lies. I mean, like, for example, right, see if you were trying to stir up shit between blacks and the whites in America, what you would do is you would go around and, like, there's higher rates of crime in poorer areas, right? I don't know if shoot me if I'm wrong here, but there's more black people in poorer areas than it's in America, per capita and all that shit, than whites. And then the point of the statistics, like 33 black dudes committed crime when there was only 20 white dudes. And you're like, well, there's probably more to the story, and all these facts and figures are just getting regurgitated. And echoed and shit just to cause divide again, polarisation. I'm anti-magnet. Fuck yous. And it works. It's working. Right now you have women fighting the idiots on idiot crime that I'm going to... Aye, everything's a crime nowadays. So the idiot on idiot crime that I'm going to show you later on is trans warriors dressed in ninja suits. I kid you not. Fucking ninja right up. Beating up women. Maybe I'm overacting the pudding a wee bit, right? But there is a wee bit of fucking vagina on mangina action going on. And none of the good stuff like that. But anyway, porn sites, that's what you got to love about porn sites, man. They're not politically correct. You know what I mean? It's not like African American man takes on two underprivileged trailer trash Caucasian females. You ever seen a porn title like that? I mean, I only go on with my mate Dangerous Dave. Tells me I'm never near these sites, obviously. No, it's nigger fucks fucking with 10-inch cock, big black cock, two fucking trailer trash white woman, white whores or something. Beautiful. Gotta love the unpolitically correctness of it. And if anybody's triggered, it doesn't last long because their dick's out in fucking like 30 seconds. And they're like, oh, I'm going to right, get that shit off. I feel guilty now. So the point of this show, the Back to the Future element, I just want to go over and reiterate like sort of at the point of this. Again, is to have fun and not propagate fear. And not have people who are no expert and motherfucking anything, man. If you actually looked at their life and their situation and where they are, you wouldn't put them on the successful spectrum, let's be honest. And then they fucking sit up there like they're some sort of a conspiracy professor, getting people who are looking for a leader and looking for somewhere to belong. And then it just turns into one big circle jerk. People blowing smoke up each other's arse and it's one big cult and it's not about the truth. It's about fucking starting up little groups to fucking divide and conquer everybody, polarise folk. And whoever controls that group controls the narrative. Right, so, fun not fear. I'm anti-magnet. I took a digital detox. I would recommend it to absolutely everybody, man. And if you can't bear the thought of like banning your phone from the bedroom or whatever. I know people like to fucking watch shit and all that before they go to sleep and shit. Just take it out of the room. Because in your subconscious, you're like fucking, you know it's there. And you're expecting that call for the president to tell you Air Force One is coming to pick you up because he's going to make you a fucking action star. Do you know what I mean? We all waiting for that call. Aye, that's about it. Take it back to fun. And I think it's going to be hilarious. Alright, and sorry, what else I'm going to do? I don't know, maybe just for tonight. Maybe it'll be a regular thing on the Back to the Future show. Right, but we all know what talking points are. Right, I'll give you an example of a talking point. All this trans stuff is a talking point. I'm not asking for opinions. I'm not trying to sway people's opinions. You're welcome to your own opinion, just as I'm welcome to my own opinion. What I'm talking about is they might not tell you what to think, but they're telling you what to think about. I don't know about you guys, right? See, on a day-to-day basis in my life, but in my life too, I don't bump into that many trans people, or trannies, whatever you want to call them. I'll use the porn site. Look at my fucking hair, man. I'll use the porn site fucking lingo, right? So I don't bump into any trannies. I certainly don't see them fucking stalking toilets, trying to fucking look at a woman's fanny or anything, man. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm saying in reality it doesn't happen that often. But if you go and listen to the interwebs and all the talking heads that are rhyming and repeating the mainstream, telling you not to watch the mainstream media because the mainstream media lie to you, and then watch the mainstream media all the time and report that back to you with their spin. And people kind of see that's what's happening. Oh, fucking hell, man. One of my mates was at a gun range tonight. That sounds pretty fucking interesting. Fucking hell, man. That's a bit of equipment. Hey, hold on. You can't see any faces and all that, so I'm pretty sure I'll be okay to show you. Aye, that's what I can do. And then get that up. So hopefully you can take a swatch at that, man. That's a serious bit of gear. Right. I'm gonna ask him where, when, and how much, man. That looks shit hot. Anyway, so that's the point. And what I'm going to do is, as I go through all the clips, see once you can, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, once you extract the talking point, because the people that are trying to propagate these messages and talking points don't give a fuck what you think. They just want you out there bumping your gums about it. Does that make? I hope that makes sense. So as we go through the clips, I'm going to start scoring each talking point and see at the end whether all this independent media, oh, you're so stupid, you watch the BBC and TV news. So do you, but you just get it on YouTube. And if you go and trace where the news is actually coming from, you'll find out it all traces back to very few sources. And then it goes through the editorial mill, if you want to call it that. Righty-ho, so let's batter on with it. And let's see if I can remember the time. If I remember the time when we first met. Right. Now, this is going to be very hard for me because I'm hard. Because I can't fucking see on that screen, man. Right, there we go. Sorted. Right, so what I can show you, right, and this is fucked up. I didn't know it went back this far. Right, so the old show notes. I'll need to take my head over here so I can see it on the big screen. Right, so the oldest one, right, is 2013. It's an old gun. Glasgow Underground News Network. That was fucking great fun, man. And I was fucking seeing chemtrails and Bigfoot on a daily basis back then, man. You better believe it. It was great fun. Hitting the Bilderberg Trail and all that jazz. So it'll be interesting to see what that fires up. Now, these are old gun stories, right? So this is basically everything we covered in gun. I would sit at home that day getting all the links and fucking all the stories and looking at all the videos and all that shit. And Kev would be working as a parking attendant. Come home, have his dinner, rock up and go, hey, welcome all. Right, Kip, talk about it. That's pretty the script. But it was great fun. And right, what I'm going to do here. No. What I'm going to do is pull out a single window and put all these from September. Well, there's not many, right? So that's the ones from September. A lot of them probably won't work, which doesn't surprise me. But nevertheless, it will be fun to look at them. August. Right. As time went on, I did get actually a lot more links as I got better at. Right, I need to get used to where these fucking things are. Right, August, October. Oh no, that's fucking. Right, May. Anyway, I just fucking opening all these in one fucking. Let's see, am I doing this the hard way? I do, but I do declare. No, I don't declare. Right. So that was July. Let's see how many actually worked. Syria facing US cyber attacks and upcoming strikes. Washington Free Beacon. Fuck's sake, is that how long the Syrian war was back then? See, back then as well, the lay of the land of YouTube was anything you put up, anything from anywhere, as long as it wasn't porn or anything. I mean, like 2-minute RT clips were the best for making money. And RT knew this and allowed people to do it because it propagated their messages, and people propagated RT messages because if you did put an RT clip up on your site, a lot of genuine people or a lot of bots clicked on it and made you a lot of money, giving you incentive to put up more RT clips. Now, this isn't conjecture. This is the journey I made at this time. At the time, I was fucking too busy counting the money when I was sticking all this shit up in my fucking 10 to 12 clips, short news clips, with heavy. I'm good at writing a good, funny clickbait title. Do you know what I mean? And I was making a shed loads of money, and that's why YouTube had to shut it down because people. It's not that they could abuse it; they were abusing it, and that's what harnessed so much of the support for people like Vag and Trump. The fact that people were making money off it. Because let's say you put 10 clips up, one of Jeremy Corbyn and the rest of Nigel Vag, and Nigel Vag makes you a fortune and the Jeremy Corbyn made you fuck all. What one are you going to put up? Whose clips are you going to put up more of? Now, I'm pretty sure YouTube were aware of this at the time, but they didn't give a fuck because they were getting paid their advertised revenue and just giving the other people a slice of the pie, so everybody was happy. But it was when people realised that it was actually genuinely affecting the political landscape. And I was one of them, man. But when I first went into the truth movement, I didn't think I was getting politically motivated. Looking back at it, I understand it fucking shed loads. And it's still happening to this day, man. But that's how outside forces, and they all done it. Just depends people who was better at it and so on and so forth. Manipulated YouTube through offering people financial gain for putting up their shit other than the other person's shit. And it wouldn't be too hard to make some bots to propagate your shit on YouTube, pretending to click on ads and all that. I mean, I had a few viral videos and see the money you made. You could just sit there and refresh your Google AdSense, man. Funny money. Funny money, funny money, funny money. That's why people like fucking Sargon and Mossad and Count Spunkula and all that, they're just saying what you want to hear. Corbyn at Glastonbury made me over £100. There you go, Blazing. You were playing the game, my friend, like a lot of people. Well, Corbyn, it would have been Corbyn bots or Corbynites. Real people bots, who knows. Made Blazing a good few money. I was making thousands of pounds, but that was funnily enough, an Obama clip. Obama gets destroyed in Irish Parliament. Fucking funny money on that. Absolutely funny money. Right, so that's what I was putting out back then. Bradley Manning! I want to live as a woman. Fucking hell, man. The trans fucking thing was back alive. Alright, talking points. So that's one that's the trans thing. Wrapped up in a Bradley Manning. That's 1 point to them. What could we say? That's the talking point of that. We just use the talking point war. Because that's obviously, I would say obviously, shit to put out to influence people's opinion about blowing up brown people in the sand for reasons that we will probably never be privy to. Bradley Manning, Los Angeles Times, that's deleted. Press, you can't get Press TV anymore, they've shut that down. But there was me rhyming and repeating Press TV shit. And for those of you that don't know, Press TV is the Iranian state broadcaster. So I was rhyming and repeating Iranian propaganda. I didn't know at the time, I thought I was just telling you the truth. Raw story era. Okay, this will be funny. BBC's outrageous disregard for the licence payer's fee for cash. Staff were handed fucking 3 odd million in payoffs while TV bosses broke their own rules, say Watchdog. Media wars, right? Because that's coming from the Mail Online, which later on I'll show you when we start watching the modern day clips. The leftist propagandists demonise because the Mail or the Daily Fail is on the right side of the spectrum, right? So that put that in media wars or left v third sandwich versus what the fuck was that? Third sandwich versus douche. Third v other third, right? That's a point for them. Right, they're burning working, so we can't get their talking points. Right, so there's Obama. My God, was it only 10 years ago Obama was out and about? Right, man, fucking hell, this is a pain in the arse having to open this all. I wish I'd done it pre-hand. Right, what was that in July? Right, let's do June. June. Aye, I wish I'd done this pre-hand or whatever. Put them all into one fucking folder. That would have been sensible. But anyway. Threat of war. Aye, well, I've got it in as war, mate. I'll stick the threat in, why not? Can he hurt? Right. I think moving forward, I will need to pre-prepare this shit. Aye, because... Aye, well... Right, do these ones, and then... Right, done that. Have my cookies, motherfucker. That one doesn't work. God, they're not all going to fucking no work, aren't they? Oh, the Clinton body count. Woohoo! Right, that's definitely going in as third versus other third. Because remember when Trump was getting in, how much the kind of right-wing media was demonising Hillary Clinton. And no doubt a lot is true. Some of it's fabricated, some of it's exaggerated. Who the fuck knows? No way of knowing. I don't think. Anywho's. So, we've got one for the trans agenda, one for war, and 2 for turd versus turd. Sound familiar about the same shit we're getting today? Right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to finish off these ones, and then I'm going to open up the more modern day ones. But do you think watching live shows back would be funnier, Blazing? Do you know what? I think it'd be better than doing this shit, to be honest. But well, there's no but about it. I could do that. I think next week I will consider that, buddy. If I can bear to put up with the haircuts, but it'll be weird. It'll be like looking at me. But maybe the weirdness will sell. Aye, maybe, buddy. Maybe I'll check that out. Might be worth a shout. Aye, mate. I'll definitely check it out. Watch back some of the old crack. It was just when I forgot that I had all these fucking bookmarks, and I went into them and I was saying to myself, wow, man, oh fucking hell, check that the fuck out, man. Right. Gonna do these 4. Right. Pedageddon, that's gonna go in. Because that's still happening to this day, isn't it? And you need to remember, if you look at the timeline of life, of humanity, you'll find that fun is the word. Well, mate, I've had a lot of mad haircuts over the times, but that's the funny. Oh, you've made me forget what I was going to say. Aye, but like what I was going to say is what you'll find is all these points kept getting touched on again and again and again and again and again, and you'll think that it's all independent, but it's all coming from the same places, and they're using the same heartstrings, whether it be paedophilia, the trans shit, war, or the political left versus right paradigm. Which, when I first joined the Truth Movement, everybody looked at the fucking left-right paradigm. Blazing, if you can search for an old show and get a link to me ASAP, I'll play it tonight. Because there's a lot there to go through, and I don't know how to find it quick. So if you can find one, I'll do that, Blazing. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do... Right, finish it off. So that's another one for Pedageddon, innit? So 2 for Pedageddon. Sothamorph can look a lot like Meth Moth. What the fuck? NPR. In fact, I can reveal secret of worse sins. What about the Dalai Lama? What's he going to reveal? Anyway, these are the links that I got up today. And this is well a hell of a lot easier. And again, I'm going to take score of the talking points. So see if you can spot the talking point. Hey, what the fuck's this? Hurry up. It's a bear.
How's the bush debacle?
Debacle? Yeah! From another street. Oh, look, there's the NPC shit. Which is ironically funny because they all copy the same thing, saying the same things. Oh, it's the fucking trans stuff. Right, so that was quick off the mark.
Called March Madness.
And again, You're welcome to your opinion. You may like this, you may not. It might make you angry. In fact, I would argue whether you're for or against this. It makes you angry either way. And fucking goal achieved, motherfuckers. Right, so let's see all the independent views that this independent media of today. And remember, this is in the last couple of days. So you'll get all the like sort of the last talking points of the last few days. Oh,
poverty. We got broken.
I used to love this guy when I first started watching the boobs tubes because his delivery. He was the taxi driver. Chunky Mark, the taxi driver. He wasn't really a taxi driver. That was just his shtick to sell you left-wing politics. Talking points. But when I went to Bilderberg, he met up with Alex Jones and Max Kaiser. And they were all driving around and hanging around together. Funny that, innit? He's still kicking about.
Brexit Britain. We got raw Tory sewage in our rivers, lakes and seas. We got a cost of living crisis. We got electricity bill.
Now, he's been doing the same shtick for fucking moons. And I don't even know what he would call himself now. He can't call himself like a YouTuber or independent journalist or anything like that. He's just a left-wing propagandist. He's a propagandist for the left-wing, the extreme left of the Labour Party. He fucking sucked at the cock of Tony Blair, Jeremy Corbyn. Right, so that's definitely going into third versus third. Right. And because his delivery, he's brilliant, what a personality. And people that buy into his personality then buy into his politics and message and mission achieved. The message gets propagated. So let's see what else we've got. Other talking points we've got here. Oh, this is Nigel Vadge news.
Are forcing a quarter of parents in Britain.
Remember, it's okay to watch this on the interwebs. Just don't watch it on the televisions, because watching it on the telly, which it's on, and these people call themselves not the mainstream media, which is laughable because they're on mainstream media. It's fucking crazy.
To give up their job or to drop out of education, according to a new study. In a survey of several countries, UK parents were the most likely to find it hard to meet childcare costs, with a record 74% saying they found it challenging. Well, joining us now to discuss this is the editorial director of Net Mums, Jennifer Howes. Good morning to you, Jennifer. Good morning. Interesting the way we describe that as parents, but are we predominantly in all of this, unfortunately, still talking about mothers and women?
Yes.
Oh, right, that's man versus woman. Fucking hell. Imagine that. Imagine women being the predominant carers for children. We now stay in a world where you can't... Well, I feel that you can... Well, you can, actually. But there will be weird consequences and weird arseholes getting triggered if you point out that women are more nurturing. Naturally. For obvious reasons, I don't need to fucking state, man. Unless you want to deny evolution and all that shit. It came for a woman's rib. No fucking monkeys. Anyway. So, that goes into man versus woman. Nigel Vadge! Woohoo!
19 suspected terrorists have crossed the English Channel in dinghies and are living.
Oh my god, brown people in boats, motherfucker. Boop, 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 boop. Now again, right, listen to me. I don't give a fuck your opinion about this. Open borders, shut borders, blow them up in the English Channel, let them in, put them up in hotels, put them up in Buckingham Palace. That isn't the point of this exercise. What I'm doing is I'm pointing out to you that the media that people consume on social medias and the interwebs, while thinking they're a step above people who might watch the BBC or something, it's no different. It's all the same talking points coming from 1,000,001 different people. And people buy into the personality before they buy into what they're saying. And ding, 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 message achieved.
Living in 4-star hotels. Well, that's 19 we know about.
Right, brown people in boats. And that encompasses all the kind of migrant crises that's happening worldwide right now, whether it be brown boats, and I'm not calling them jobbies, right? And how long? Remember, this is independent media, y'all. Nah, well, that's actually straight for his website. Oh, this is funny.
And raised here in New Mexico. I have a graduate degree.
Bing! Trans. So right now we have 3 for trans and 3 for Petergeddon. No, sorry. Third versus other third. Right, let's listen to this.
Degree in information technology, marketing, business, and finance. I own my own home. I pay taxes. I have a 6-figure job. I'm a respected professional in Albuquerque. I'm a mother.
Well, now we're picking at threads. Does it, like, to be a mother, do you need do you actually need to give? I know you can be a parent. You can be adopted parents. I don't know. I quite frankly don't give a fuck. But you can pick holes in it.
My life experience is that I'm an awesome person. I am well liked. I'm responsible, and
I've got no confidence. I think that's the next thing she's going to say.
I think I'm pretty cool. You touched on something. You said
I think you look a bit like a man in a wig. And I think I'm pretty funny. Or just stating the obvious.
something earlier.
Maybe he's a big, massive, broad fucking soldiers. Soldiers? Soldiers. Shoulders.
Earlier that for you, when somebody calls you a man, it doesn't faze you because,
I'm a man.
like, you just know that you're a man.
Due to the penis.
That was
You know all about that.
interesting to me because I feel the same way about my identity as a woman. My question leading up to this, you've
Yeah, but minus the vagina. I mean, you can feel like a woman. No problem at all, man. Feel what you want. But technically speaking, by the definition of the dictionary, you're not a biological woman. And I don't know why there's even a debate about this, and I'm getting sucked in. I just think it's funny. I think it's funny that this shit's getting used. Now, I don't know if you can tell this, right? But is it the trans population's like one fucking... Alright, Stewie. How much of the population is trans? 1 fucking %? By looking at your media and all that, you would think it was like maybe 51%. Or people getting fucking outraged and all. Like, do you want to hear a crazy idea? Now, if I was dictator for a day and I had my ruby red slippers on, right? This is what I would do. I'd click my heels, get rid of all the motherfuckers that are using trans, Petergeddon, war, brown people in boats, man versus woman, all these polarising subjects, and using them for political reasons to engage with voters, to get them on your side, because they're all sitting there crunching the numbers about what's going to happen down the ballot box next time. And they don't give a flying fuck about the fucking the consequences. All they care about is getting those people at the boxes. Getting people in their box. If you get me. Right, let's get back to Hairy Fairyland.
Sir.
Now this shit stuff is designed to trigger you. See this trans person, right? She's probably 1% of the trans population, which I think is 1%. Don't quote me on that. I do believe it's less than 1%, actually. I know that I don't fucking come across them fucking hardly ever. Maybe I just don't know. Or maybe I just think it's a guy out for a hen's night.
That no one would ever see me as a woman, that nobody would ever see or could see a transgender person as a woman, and yet I have dozens of friends from diverse backgrounds, women from the
Fuck. You see how crazy the interwebs and all these pigeonholes they've designed have driven people?
my boss, my
I mean, she's in a circle jerk with all our other people that are getting infuriated with this shit, feeding on each other's pure outrage.
here with me. All of these people assure me
Hurry up, I'm going
Like-
to sleep, man.
I'm a woman. They'll tell me, girl, like, there is no way you are a man. They
Why
see
do-
me as a woman.
why-
Well, she
So
was
the
born,
question,
man.
Okay.
how can you
Aye,
assert
fucking hurry up.
that nobody would ever see me as a woman when my material experience tells me you're wrong?
Okay. It's interesting that that's the part of my talk you chose to ask a question about, because that's not in my talk at all. I don't believe I said that no one would ever see you as a woman. I mean, it's possible, I suppose, that you could fool someone. Now, you brought this up, so I have to tell you that you brought this up. You've put your identity on the table for conversation. And so I'm going to say you wouldn't fool me at all. I mean, I see a man 100%.
Yep.
And I think that most people would. Now, the fact
Ding! I know how controversial to see that is, like, oh my god, I can see you're trying to dress like a woman, but I can clearly see, look at the fucking forearms. Women genetically don't get forearms like that. Even the bodybuilder ones, like, because they would have to be bodybuilders and then you could see all the definition. And their weird asses and all that shit.
that you have people in your life who are saying to you, oh, you're totally a woman, it's exactly what I'm talking about. No one in my life has ever once said to me, you're totally a man, Matt. You know, if a friend of mine called me on the phone and said, listen, Matt, I want you to know you're really a man, I would think that there was something wrong with him. I would say, why are you saying that at all? It doesn't make any sense. So the fact that this is a conversation to begin with tells me, it only proves the point that I'm trying to make, that your identity, even in your own mind, is up for, it's something that you need to be assured of. Now, what I would like to ask you, again, because you're standing here, and so you've brought your identity on the table for discussion. So how do you know that you're a woman?
It was first when I heard a transgender person
See, right, I'll need to be honest, I find this shit highly entertaining, but I understand it's put there to polarise people. You know, see if you got your average trans person and your average non-trans person, and like two reasonable ones, put them in a room to discuss all this shit, they could definitely... Blazing sent me a link to an old show, so we'll take a peek at that in a bit. Oh fuck, man, I'm so easily thrown. Anyway, it'll come back to me.
describe their experience in their own words, and this was only about 2 years ago.
All right, I find this shit highly entertaining. It's like shooting. I was going to say kids in a barrel, but I don't think it's the same. It's like shooting fish in a barrel, putting this guy against her. You know what I mean? It's like, do you know what it is? It's like, what it reminds me of is the first few times I ever seen, Jeremy Springer. And we were used to, this was before the interwebs and all that, even before cable and Sky, and you seen Jerry Springer and you're like, what the fuck? And then you get Jeremy Kyle, and the things just keep snowballing, have to be more controversial, and I think you get more of a reaction off of people by making them angry than you do at talking nice and calmly and sensible. But if you got two reasonable people, one fighting for whatever she wants and one fighting for whatever he wants, I would argue what I want is that people is fucking keep your nose out of other people's business. Allow her to have her opinion and allow him to have his opinion. And if there's any conflicts of interest that happen with law or any shit like that, then let's come to a table and fucking talk about a reasonable compromise from both sides. Because without compromise from both sides, you're just going to end up with fucking endless reels of this, which I'm quite happy about, because I can fucking sit laughing at this all day long. Because listen to how bizarre this is. You got a dude in a dress standing up saying, I feel like a woman. People tell me I'm a woman, so I'm a woman. This guy's like, I'm not saying you're not a woman. I'm just saying biologically speaking, you were born with a penis.
Hearing
AKA
somebody describe things, it was a woman from like England describing her experience, her childhood, her teenage years. And it blew my mind to be listening to her.
She's got bigger forearms than me, easy peasy, double her size.
It was just some podcast that I was listening to while I was like doing laundry. But it blew my
Yep, that's women's work. You're a woman!
mind to hear somebody so eloquently and precisely describe things that I had experiences
What
that
was
I
the
had
description?
experienced.
What did they say?
Okay, so I am honestly hesitant. I know that you touched earlier about the difficulty that transgender women might have in describing their identity, but I want to state, I honestly don't feel that you would engage in this conversation in good faith.
Then why are
And
you here?
so-
Why did you stand up to talk to me if you don't want to have a conversation? You're saying that you discovered that you're a woman. I'm asking you how you did.
Look
That's a
how red
very
in the
fair
face
question.
she's
How do you know that you're a woman?
That's fine. All right. So first of all, listening to transgender people, and it was like, okay,
Does the dress
this is a
not give it
one-off,
away?
you know, one person describing these things. Things like looking at yourself in the mirror and not recognizing yourself. Hearing compliments like, you are such an example.
Right, now, I just caught this off of YouTube. I'm not familiar with who's put it out, but you better believe that these people are putting this stuff out now, not about the goodness of their heart, not because they want you to know the truth. It's because they're part of the right-wing machine that's out there right now, polarising America before the upcoming Trump election, which Trump's going to win, by the way. I've got money on him.
Like a positive masculine role model, and just hearing that and being like, you know, it feels like they're talking about somebody else. It means feeling alone, even when you're surrounded by guys, even when you have a lot of friends. And I was active in like Boy Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout. I had great masculine role models my whole life, and yet
She was a Boy Scout. I don't think they take women, mate.
never felt like I belonged. I felt welcome and
But
included.
why does that make you a woman?
Because
As opposed to just a man who doesn't get along with some other men, or a man who's depressed, or a man who doesn't feel at home totally in his body, which, by the way, is a pretty universal human experience. Everybody goes through it at one time or another. So in what way does that make you a woman, though? And it's interesting you're telling me that you listen to the experiences of other transgender people.
Well, yeah.
But what about women?
So
Because trans women are women, you would say, right?
Oh, there we go. It's the trans versus women argument, which takes the trannies out on front. Come on, tranny!
Right?
I would say that. Yes.
Exactly the same?
Yes.
Okay, well then why do
Well-
you need to hear the testimony of trans, quote unquote, trans women? Like how you pick any actual woman in this room? In what way do you know that you belong in the same category as them?
It's a guy
I
in
know
a dress,
because they
Alan.
tell
Can you
me.
not tell?
So here was the
You need them to tell you what you are?
women. Yes, I trust the opinions of the women around
And
me.
if most
it's
women-
incredible. You might try it sometime.
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman, would you say I'm not a woman anymore?
Wait till I show you women and trans ninjas, and I mean they are ninjas. They were the fucking security for other trans people, man. It's fucking hilarious. Fighting with each other.
If who?
If most women voted and said they don't
Definitely
see you as a
women.
woman anymore, would you then relent and say I'm not a woman?
I would say most people on the planet have no idea who I am. I'm going to trust the opinions of the people who've spent their lives with me.
But you are relying on other people to tell you who you are, is what we're establishing.
For context, I know you like to think. I know you like to say. Everybody's rah-rahing and supporting transgender people, and yet they're still killing themselves, etc. But
This is somebody who's in a cult right? And there's many out there. And as soon as you start questioning the logic of the shit they're saying, like chemtrails and fucking flat Earth and and you just can't get through to them. They're gone. They're too deep, too baldy, too much invested. If you start actually trying to make, and don't get me wrong, you do get some people out there who go for flip from one to the other. I didn't so much flip as just had a general journey through all the bullshit as I just kept seeing it rhyme and repeat, rhyme and repeat, rhyme and repeat. Right, let's see.
I'm standing here in a room full of people applauding you and asking questions like, how can I put out legislation here in New Mexico, you know, my home state I grew up in, to try to reverse transgenderism? I'm not safe.
Is that transgender sign language? I didn't know they had their own. I knew there was a few versions of sign language, but I didn't know transgender had their own.
And it
How are you
wasn't...
not safe? You just said you're standing in a room with people who disagree with you, and you're perfectly fine. So how are you not safe? Okay, look, we're going round and round. You don't want to answer any of the questions. Maybe we'll end with
Look how red her face is, man.
this, because we're talking about
She looks like a prawn now. A prawn in a wig.
womanhood. So people could probably shout out the question I'm going to ask you right now.
Okay.
But you know that you're a woman.
Yes.
What is that?
See, like, now, see all these questions, talking points, and ways of the ways of approaching the argument. And again, I'm not here to tell you what you think, what side to go on. I'm pointing out that this shit and all the independent media from supposedly different sources is all saying is almost exactly the same talking points. How many have I got? How many clips have I looked at? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 talking points. But everybody's talking about the same shit, but they're all independent.
So gender is a social thing? It only
I don't
makes
want to hear
sense
that. What
in
is a
social-
woman? What is a woman?
What is a woman?
The word woman, define in the dictionary. Go.
A woman is somebody who is included and respected and seen and participates in society, recognized by other women. If you speak...
What the fuck? What dictionaries have you been reading, hen? That must be the prawn dictionary. I'm thinking prawn in a wig dictionary version.
with women.
Circular definition.
That's mine. Whatever.
Okay. All right.
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
Good.
That was fucking hilarious. Right, but again, I'll repeat, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Now let's just do our due diligence here, right? Let's see if the source where it's came from is some sort of a magical independent media source, or whether it's like maybe Young America Foundation. Boom! Right, go and Google those motherfuckers. See if they're putting out stuff to politically motivate you one way or the other. Because see, anybody who subscribes to more left thinking but has a strong opinion on trans, the right will use their position on trans to suck them in. We've seen people be turning politically schizophrenic up here in Scotland. We're living it right now with oh God, how do you explain this? Little Nicola Sturgeon and her cabal within the SNP are going against the vast majority, not only of her own party, but of the population in general. Once they put through, anybody can subscribe to any fucking gender they want by just fucking saying so. You know, and probably as many times as you want. And you might think, what's wrong with that? That's okay. Well, it's okay if they want to just bounce about wearing a fucking dress and a wig. Fair dues. But when it comes down to legal matters, what toilet you can and can't go into, what changing room, and who's get the most rights, women and trans. It's brilliant, man. It's like watching Gladiators, but this time on the podium, where he pulls you sticks, is a woman and a trans. And you will literally see them fighting on the streets of the United Kingdom later on in the show. Stay tuned. I don't know when this clip comes up. I'm just going to go through them periodically. Oh, look! It's you, Alan! Mate, sorry for fucking... Oh, what the fuck? Why is this fucking no making... Oh, because I've got it in mute.
Might give you a clue onto what...
Right, remember when you got into the conspiracy world and told you, just look at all the talking heads, the suits, all they're doing is like theatre and stuff like that, and like, look what we've got now. We've got 1,000,001 of guys like this sitting up there in their suit looking like fucking Xavier X. You know what I'm talking about? Right, and you can well tell that's really his living room. Not a studio, and I don't blame him, man. Fair dues, make a fucking lovely wee place to hold your podcast and all that. I've had actually, back in the day before I knew better, people that liked my show and stuff, right? And this shows you how batshit crazy this stuff can actually fucking turn you. And I was an open guy, I was fucking naive, I thought the Truther movement was all about the truth and we're all brothers and all that shit. Anyway, long story short, so somebody came round for a smoke or to chat or do something, I can't even remember now. First thing that gets said, and what blew me away was it wasn't in jest, it was seriousness, and reflection that doesn't surprise me. It's like, oh wow, it's no studio then, that's my fucking living room, man. You fucking crackpot. I say nothing. But anyway, what's this guy talking about? This is England. So, what can we put this in? Now, I'm going to argue this goes into the talking point of left versus right. Third on third aggression. What did the military call it? Oi, oi! God's little helper. What did they call it? Blue on blue, red on red, black on black? I can't remember. That's racist. But I'm calling it third on third. Third on third. Violence, aggression. Oh God, man. My mate's got me seeing UFOs all over the place now. Right, I'm just going to call it third versus other third. Because when you break this down, this is obviously... I say obviously, let's give it a listen. Is this guy a United Kingdom nationalist hiding behind the veil of telling you the truth and breaking away from the mainstream media while using mainstream media articles to paint you his narrative?
We're going to be talking about. This is the Sovereign Project, a project that is designed to link people who are sovereign.
Mate, what are you talking about, the Dyson? That's what I was cutting my hair with earlier, man. Can you not tell? It's no finished yet. Missed a few bits. But I tell you what, man, I had a hell of a mop first time in ages. See, getting it all off, man. Oh, I know how these baldy cunts feel, man. It's beautiful. Can't wait to start losing my hair and I'll just like that, whip it all off as well, man. Anywho, I'm going to let him rant and have a proper smoke.
Who want to be free. Pete, welcome to the show. It's
freedom. Oh, don't I need... There we go. That should be a bit better. That's a bit better, actually. Freedom! Right, but again, what does freedom mean? People just use it as a meme to tell you that we're good and they're bad. Oh, they don't believe in freedom. Freedom of speech. You have the freedom to say anything you fucking want. But walk into a black neighbourhood in America and start going nigga, 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 nigga. There's going to be consequences, isn't there? I know, you'll be alright if you're black, but if you're of any other race, I believe Hispanics are technically not allowed to say it as well. So, you do have freedom of speech. So all these people out there telling freedom of speech, they've not got the freedom to wind cunts up. It's just like, I believe in freedom of speech, but you come into the chat room and start acting a cunt, I'm going to kick you the fuck out. Because I have the freedom to kick you in the balls, just like you have the freedom to come in and try and spew all your verbal diarrhea all over other people's shit. For what reasons, I do not know. But the Dyson's a prop. Don't you use it? Well, mate, why do you think I've got it out? Oh, yeah, baby. Come on, Dyson. Oh, man, what's this? Is every cunt's fucking hair falling out? Is this the dude for American History X? What's happening here? Is this James Whale and the guy for American History X?
It's lovely to have you with me this afternoon.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
We, as you may know,
Oh, yes. Yes. We, as you may know, stand up for the man on the street. What? Do you like my tweet? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now, all the UKIP fucking right-wing motherfuckers are going to fucking swallow this shit up. Bet she gets thousands of views and all that shit as well. Oh, there you go, man. He must be quite big in the conspiratard world.
channel may not know, we've been talking about natural law, common law, sovereignty.
Oh, no, man. These people will get you the jail.
Many different guests who have a different look at sovereignty. You're called the Sovereign Project, so if anyone knows anything about sovereignty and stuff, it should be you.
Right. This is all linked into UKIP, UK column, which all lead back to the British Constitution Party, which all link into the old British fascists. And I'm not just saying, oh, you're a fascist. I'm talking about the old fascist party of the fucking UK, if you trace it all back. And they're using the British Constitution and all that as a way to try and legally change shit to get their fucking foot in the door. And all they do is prey on people's fear. It's no fun preying on people's fear. I take fun, I make fun and try and make fun of people propagating fear like these two baldy bastards. No offence, Alan.
I think we've never been in a time where being sovereign is more important. And
Mate,
a lot of people are...
Angie just had a couple of joints before he went on to calm the old nerves and all that. And as soon as I went, 3, 2, he's just hot a whitey. He's blending into the wall. Maybe he's one of those. Maybe he's one of those lizards that take the colour, like a chameleon, take the colour for around him and try and camouflage himself.
Some more about that. So maybe we could just start with a little bit about yourself and how you sort of thought about sovereignty and becoming sovereign, and then what the project's about.
Well, what happened was I had lots of time on my hands and I started watching too much YouTube. And then I watched a lot of interesting videos, which it's all subjective. They're telling you bits of paper don't mean anything and pointing to things written on bits of paper, telling you that's the reason why things written on a bit of paper don't mean anything. And I kid you not, that's it. And I was balled deep into that shit. I loved it, man. Gobbled it all up. And I do understand the concept. Right, I do understand the concept. But I'll give you an example of how this affects the real world, right? Let's just listen to it a wee bit.
Sure, yeah. It all began years ago. We're talking almost 30 years ago when we had access to the internet for the first time. It was in the 19...
I was right. He started watching YouTube when we had access to say before I had the internet. I didn't give a fuck about any of this shit. I had a quite successful life and wasn't getting arrested every 2 weeks. See now, my life is in turmoil and fucking cops and bailiffs at my door telling them they've not got the right to arrest me as they club me to the ground and throw me in a fucking cage. Let's see if that's how the story pans out.
So I got my first computer. And I knew that I was being lied to. Whenever I used to see something on the TV, I think, hang on a minute, I'm being lied to. This is not correct. So I'd go.
So I would go online and I would know. Do you spot the common thread here? Is the penny dropping for anybody? And I'm not telling you to stop watching the internet. And I'm certainly not telling you to stop watching the TV. 2 toes of the same foot? What is so fucking saying that I'm losing right now? 2 hairs from the same heat? Something along those lines. Right, 2 strings of the same bow? A bow only has 1 string, doesn't it? Anyway, 2 strings of the same guitar. You get what I'm talking about. He's probably know the saying that I've completely forgot and spazzed out on. Right, so that's a minute and a half. And you can already hear all the talking points. Right, so what would we put this into? Well, these people are trying to cause civil disobedience by people to start fucking up the courts. Oh, I was going to tell you a real life experience, right? I was speaking to a dude and he was getting ball deep in all this legalese stuff. It's not my name, it's your birth certificate, that's your slave certificate, 1666, the Case de Vie Act. Done it all, went through it all, man, went ball deep. Still got all the legal... Look what I've got in my show notes. Useful documents. Should have law dictionaries somewhere. Oh, look, they're there. Right? So, I used to go body deep and all that stuff and love it and all that. Right? It cost me a month of my life in Barrel. You don't need to turn up to court. It's only an invitation. You're like, yeah, it's an invitation. You don't need to turn up. Right? See if you, like, let's say, for example, you need to go to court for dropping a bit of paper on the sidewalk. Bread. Right? It's just an example. That would never happen. But you get the example I'm trying to make. And you didn't turn up to that court appearance. You would be technically on the run. And again, it's just an invitation. You don't need to turn up. That's what these idiots will tell you. But what they won't tell you when they're battering all this rhetoric up your arse is then you actually have God knows how many thousand people in uniforms, armed to the teeth, fucking chapping at your door and looking for you. So everywhere you go, no matter what you do, you're looking over your shoulder. Because your name's on a fucking list. And see, when cops haven't got any crimes to solve, do you know what to do? They get lists of people that are on the run. And they go and start chapping doors. Last known address, associated known addresses, addresses your car's ever been registered to, so on and so forth. And when they catch you, they'll throw you in a cage, they'll put you in front of the court, and you're in court saying, I only dropped a fucking bit of paper on the street. They'll give me bail. Nope, hold on, I'm on remand. That remand can be it can be any sort of a time, depends how busy the courts are. They're taking away your liberty. And you can be in there like, well, it was only an invitation. Well, you fucked up your invitation and you didn't accept the invitation and there were consequences. It's like freedom of speech. Nobody talks about consequences of your actions. Consequences of saying particular things in particular arenas. So on, so forth. Right, I'm going to do a couple more of these and then have a wee look at the show blazings gave me on Skype. What the fuck is that? Does that still work? Why you... Oh shit. I was like, why are you giving me the Hamlet fucking advert, you fucking arsehole? Oh, mate, geez, what? I can't fucking do that one that you've sent me. Send me another one of mine. You know, I've no problem doing one of mine. Alan, look, here's another baldy dude speaking about the fucking speaking for the people, telling you the truth. Stewie, facial recognition's there, mate, innit? It's just... Look at everybody with their phones now. Do you know what? I leave my phone unlocked, because if I ever get mugged, I don't want anybody chopping off my finger or scooping out my eyeballs or knocking me unconscious and putting the phone up to my fucking face. You know, I've heard that's actually happened. You know, you get those snoopers in relationships that can't handle no looking through your fucking mobile phone. Typically a woman. Get up or accidentally up in the middle of the night and get their partner's phone. And if they're sleeping on their back, that, boop, boop, unlock it using the facial recognition and boom shakalaka. They've got access, keys to the kingdom. Right, in my book, right? Oh, I'm not even going to go into that shit.
It's
this is a Scottish guy.
Webcam girls. There's so many women.
Oh, what we're speaking about webcams, girl. Good,
because you get access to foreign capital. Right, the dollar's worth a lot more. Like if you get access to foreign capital, you can be rich very fast. Like if she gets a $50 donation, she can go get a 5-star dinner, right? So it's like if you're
Right, this guy's got the key. This guy knows how to get rich very fast. I'm doing a podcast with Sean Atwood or something.
the allure of being an online anything is so strong, and a woman's like, oh, you don't really have to have that much skill. Like you look pretty, you do something, you get some simp to send you money from the UK.
What are they talking about?
If you get sterling, I mean, you're rich, right? So a lot of girls turn to the easy money, and so there are a lot of attractive Eastern European women because they realize that
If they run out of conspiracies now, they're talking about webcam girls. What
will
the
help
fuck?
me more than going to school. And you're in a bar and all these women are just giving you drinks, okay? And then it's really the only skill you need until you look
Why is
safe
there a lion?
in the West. I mean, the
Is this guy escaped from the Wizard of Oz or something?
West is complete clown world, complete.
With me, or if you don't want it, just F off. I'll never bother you again.
Yeah,
Is that
3 of them
folklore?
left,
Or
2 of
is
them
that
stayed.
true? Is that true?
It seems like that is true. 3 of them left, 2 of them stayed, and the 2 that stayed, one of them still stayed, and did.
Alan, I don't
lot of
know
money.
what's happening, mate. I think it must be the chemtrails that's making all the guy's hairs fall out. Or, in fact, do you know what it is? It's that guy on the left. He knows a spell, and he just casts it, and all the guy's hairs for around the world just flocks to him, and goes like, psh! And that's where he gets his big bonds for, man. I don't think he speaks.
On the camera, and some guy is talking to the other guy, right? Saying exactly what he wants to hear because he knows
Why the fuck? Does Sean...
this girl because she is just.
Anyway, I put him here expecting him to be talking about one of the talking points, but they seem to be just talking about bitches and hoes. Well, 2 of them do anyway. Yes! Here's somebody that's an expert in politics. That's why he's come to you from a shed with some pot plants.
Sorts of stuff to talk about now. The Alvin Bragg's case, obviously the big news. We're going to be parsing that apart. I did talk about it this morning. I wanted to talk about a few other related things with regards to his case and people that are claiming, well, Congress can't do anything about Alvin Bragg. Yeah, they can. And there are several reasons why I think that they will find that to be a
Right, that's going down as turd versus other turd, which draws the turds versus turds equal with the trannies. So exciting news, who's going to win? I love this old woman.
Hello. I'm going to be talking about the efficacy or otherwise of the British Bobby, our dear police force. Now,
I'm not any particular fan of the police, but well, there is no. But I'm no fan of the police. Although I can see, like, if you were one to. I've said this for numerous years. If you want to bring in the new world order, you've got to break the old world order, and that's what's happening. Everybody's striking. Everything's on its fucking knees. And is anybody there uniting it? Or is there any politician out there trying to build a bridge and be like Jesus? Oh, hold on, maybe that's Styx Hexenhammer or whatever's trying to be the next Jesus. So, I don't know, what bracket would you put her in? Sweet old lady, likes the internet, knows how to work the internet.
this would be something of an open goal, at least for the figures to stay the same, wouldn't you?
Yo, punk.
Home Office figures show just over 1 in 20 being solved in the year to June, while...
Now remember, well, what I think and like the more and more and more and more this happens, you will have people out there watching this, taking this in, and rhyming it off as some sort of establishment rhetoric, right? Anti-establishment rhetoric, and then telling you they don't watch your TV or listen to the mainstream media. And she is rhyming and repeating the fucking Telegraph. The information the Telegraph is regurgitating has went through many fucking checks and balances. There's probably no fucking essence of truth left fucking in it. Which leads me scratching my balls is wondering why. But everybody else is just like, no, the police are killing everybody everywhere. Let's take to the streets. I know what will solve this problem. Let's take to the streets. Gather all in one place. And run out the police. That'll solve it. The police will never think that we're going to do that. They'll never think we're... Oh, hold on a sec. They've got a fucking standing army with fucking armour, helmets, sticks, rubber bullets, tear gas, kettling tactics which are allowed. You gather all in one place to put your message across. They'll let you do your wee march. If you behave like nice fucking sheep and go along the fucking allowed area, they'll let you go, hey, no, blah, 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 blah. Nothing will change. There'll be no fucking line in the sand. Right, and the reason I'm saying this is I've already got a few people, well, hopefully a few, at least a couple, that are going to come and do the vote us, not them, at the next general election, which no doubt will be coming shortly. And I think the response will be amazing. If you think of it, I done it way back when. Oh, hold on, actually, because I found this in my. I never knew I actually had this. This is me holding up my own elections and all that. 5 years ago. And let's see if the police turn up this time. So I've got a few people. I'm going to keep it old school and use my old ballot box, which oops, a bit bashed in. Not in a bit of sticky back plastic. Won't solve. I didn't write. It's a fucking. You know, I don't even know where I got these fucking shoes box from. Anywho, so now this is my dream. If I had a dream, if you think about it, right? Look, how many people voted against the Iraq War? Went on a protest against the Iraq War. The figures that were bandied about were 1 million plus. Right, so if you imagine that, 1 million people on general election day, not gathered in one spot, not doing fucking meaningless fucking chants, not running at the fucking police, but going to their own local fucking polling stations, standing with a motherfucking shoebox, and say, do you really want to vote for anybody in there? Are you voting for the lesser of 5, 4, 6 evils, whatever fucking shit they throw at you? Or do you want to come here and give us your consent and not them? I'm not voting for you. Not asking you to vote for me. We're voting for us. Is to withdraw the consent of the existing establishments that govern us peacefully all over the country at one fucking time. They don't have the numbers to police that. They don't have the riot squads to fucking round every cunt up. And what are you doing? You're standing there with a fucking shoebox. Mate, that's battered old shoebox has got fucking sentimental value. But so I already got a few folk that are going to date with me. And I think this time it will be even more interesting. Well, I know it will be more interesting. Because the climate's changed from fucking 5 years ago. Even more so. And remember, to bring in the new, you need to destroy the old. And up here in Scotland, we've had a political wrecking ball go through our political landscape with the SNP. Thank you, Braveheart and Mel Gibson. And same's happening down in England. The fracturing in the Labour Party with the Corbynists and the non-Corbynists. The fracturing of the Conservatives with the 1,001 factions they have. Centre and right and fucking right. right. So on and so forth. The Lib Dems doing whatever they do. So that's what I'm going to be doing anyway. So God bless this old woman. I would put that in the third versus third. Sorry, I wanted to get that out there because it is going to be interesting. So next general election, stay tuned. Oh, I've got to love this guy.
It's about to start.
This guy is a financial wizard. Tells you what stocks are going up, what's going down, how much his Brill cream costs him. You know, you should get a haircut like me, mate. Rocks. And yet, like all these financial gurus that sit on YouTube are still sitting on YouTube trying to punt you books and gold. Telling you gold is the way to go. Telling you they'll sell you gold. And what will you buy my gold with? Money. So you're telling me gold is better than money, yet you want to exchange your money, your gold for my money. That don't quite make sense. Now, does it? Does it? We've got the brown people on bots.
The European Commission saying that the decision to declare national states of emergency is entirely a national competence, and the European Commission can't.
All right, but you just know how people are getting wound up with this, and like look at all these topics. They're all left and right, extreme left, extreme right positions, and that's where everybody's focus is getting drawn to. While at the same time, the social medias are egging people on, driving people crazy, making people ready to snap, stick a fucking pandemic and lockdown on top of that. Recipe for disaster. Woo!
Like anything else, to hone our skills as sons and daughters of Christ.
Right. This is what I mean by doing your due diligence. I want to, like, and if you're interested in why I think the way I think, perk your ears up. Why I get Hitler haircuts and all that. When I hear information off of somebody, I go, I may agree with them, but I want to know where they're coming from. Why are you standing in front of me telling me that? And trace the money? Honey. So, let me go to... oh, fuck, I used to know where this is. I need to go to this one. Oh, here it is here. Right. No! Oh, no way, man. Bastard. I'll find that and show you it, right? But I will give you a synopsis of it. I'm pretty sure it was a BBC report, Panorama or something, investigating the far right, and they were talking about the money behind the far right, and they came to Jim Dawson, who's kind of a man of many skills, but one of them was fundraising for the BNP back in the day. Now, he now runs the Knights Templar together with Nick Griffin, who was the leader of the BNP when Jim Dawson raised them lots of money. Now, side note, Tommy Robinson was a member of the BNP at this time. Now, what happened? The BNP became toxic. Did these people all go away? Well, we've got Jim Dawson and Nick Griffin doing the Templars. When he started doing the Templars, he wore a disguise and all that because he didn't want associated with them, and then he got outed. You get Tommy Robinson starting... Oh man, I can't even remember the name of his fucking... It had England in it, didn't it? England Defence League, there we go. Starting the EDL. And then at a later date, Jim Dawson propagating all Tommy Robinson stuff while saying they're no longer associated, and Nick Griffin setting up wee white-only enclaves over in Hungary while doing all this Templar propaganda. Now, as I said, Jim Dawson in this documentary was getting interviewed. The footage was on the BBC. Whether he was getting interviewed with the BBC at the time, I don't know. But they were questioning him about the fundraising and stuff that he'd done for the BNP. And he's like, yeah, I did. I done fundraising for the BNP. I think he said that he raised them over £1 million or something. And he was talking about, well, it's good. As long as we get people talking and move everybody a little bit over to the right. He's talking about the political spectrum. So he doesn't want to turn you into Hitler. But what he wants to do is drag everybody in the conversation and talking points a little bit over to the right. Because he's a fundamental fucking batshit fucking crazy Christian. He's building churches and all sorts of shit. If you don't know who he is, Jim Dawson, go and look into him, man. And I believe he was the money. I believe he was behind the English Defence League. And Tommy Robinson. I believe they hatched the pan when they were in the BNP together. They know the BNP became toxic when they had a councillor, lost the councillor. BNP came toxic, and then all these other groups sprung up at the same time as the explosion of the interweb. And what did you have? Fucking crazy people all over YouTube and the likes spouting all that shit. Alright, OG Skywalker, how you doing? The cult of nationalism is everywhere, buddy. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't come from the other side, but I think they were first out the traps, let's just say. I think the election of Trump shows you that. Right, anyway, so that's disappointing that video's away, but I did want to fucking talk about Jim Dawson when his head did pop up. So that goes down to turd versus other turds. You could also put brown people in boat with that one. But he's very politically engaged. Right, this is hilarious. Talking about Mark Dice earlier on, whose career started with trying to sell you dating books. Then he's seen the light, woke up, and now he's a Trump supporter. Now, as funny as this clip is, and it is fucking funny, apart from fucking Mark Dice being turned into a bobblehead for some reason. I don't know why he's turned into a bobblehead for some reason in this video. It honestly was making me seasick, but it is very funny.
The state house democracy seemed to be at its end. That was him pleading his case just before the vote to throw him out. And here he is back in college in 2016, before coming down with stage 4 wokeness.
Justin J. Pearson, and I'm running for president of BSG.
So you get the point. Nowadays, he's like, hey, man, yo, bro, my job, nigga, yo, woo! And back then, he was like, hey, hi there, Simon, what? Afternoon tea. Right, but again, it's all political bullshit, it's all political theatre, and Mark Dice is up there as a truther. Remember, he sold himself to you as telling you the truth, and now he's turned into part of the political machine. You know, they always talked about the military-industrial complex. What about the political industrial complex? Mark Dice has become a very small cog, and he is big in the YouTube world. And a very large machine. Whether he knows it or not, or whether he's just playing the... Maybe he's just playing the analytics selling what sells, because he is a fucking... I wouldn't call him a shill, because he's not hiding it, you know what I mean? But go and look for his first book, which is quite funny. How's it hanging, OG?
Trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney.
Ding! Nigel Vag TV, another one for the trans. Now, this isn't me cherry picking these YouTube clips. This is me going through a feed and looking at the ones that are saying all the same shit. And remember, the Great British News Network, or whatever it's called, will tell you that they're telling you the truth. Now, this was fucking hilarious. Right. See, it does go down to turd versus other turd, because basically the Elon thing in the media is now not against him. It's turning more into a left versus right thing in the run up to the new election. And Elon, being the man he is, has got the influence over a hell of a lot, especially young people. People know that, and that's why he's been brought into the right-wing fold. You may disagree with what I'm saying there, right? But to me, it's blatantly obvious. And here, as you can see, and there's a website, right? And it's all about body language. And I remember coming across the websites initially, and they were beautiful. They were beautiful. I loved them. And then I realised, oh, hold on, why is it all fucking Democrats? This website's fucking assassinating with the body language shit. And then I was like, oh, hold on, they're right wing. So all they're doing is cherry picking their fucking victims and destroying them. But if you haven't seen that, it's hilarious.
Right. Do you see a rise in hate speech?
So he's put himself in his position to be in strength. Body reflects the mind. The mind is in strength. And then he says, what hate speech? He opens up, palms up towards him. What hate speech? Like, I'm giving you an opportunity to tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, I think he's going to get a blowjob.
What hate speech? But he's not leaned back. He's not leaned away. He's in the same position. It is just the hands offering him an open.
I mean, just a personal anecdote. Like, what do you? I don't.
He brings his hand, one hand into a fist. He's staying in his strength. So he's telling himself.
Right. That goes in the Musk category, which at the end, when I take a score, I'll put in the turds. So it's this. Oh, this is turd versus turd warfare as well.
Got sex education material. This is the material that goes throughout all of the primary.
Now, can I just say I have an opinion on this, right? And I may well share a lot. My opinion may be very aligned with a lot of what these people are saying. But what I'm telling you, before you make up your mind and buy into the personality or change your mind or whatever, understand that these people are coming from a fundamental religious place. They're not a normal man in the street. These people are on church groups because they think a book is actually written by God is trying to convince you one way or the other politically. I thought we should. I'm a big proponent of separation of church and state politics, whatever you want to call it. But it's just not the reality. It is not the reality.
Secondary schools in Scotland. My own daughter is age 10 and she is at a Scottish primary school. And the teachers sent home a letter saying that they were about to teach sex education. So,
oh no, this goes into the trans thing, the LGBT fucking. I'm dyslexic. I would never learn that, man. I'm just going to call them the alphabet soup sex.
I asked if I could see the slides. It showed this slide here and many others like it. The caption here reads, "When a woman feels like having sex with her partner, her vulva and vagina might feel tingly and might be wet and slippery to touch."
What the fuck? 10-year-olds? See? I'm falling for it. I'm getting my pitchfork out. I'm fucking joining the masses. Let's go and fucking burn down fucking Holyrood. The shithole.
For a woman, an orgasm is a special, nice feeling in her body. These slides go on to explain exactly to children how to have sex. And so the parents were out in Denny and they were protesting against this. It was just a few months ago that the lawn outside the Parliament was packed with over 500 people protesting against the Gender Recognition Reform Bill. Hunter Youssef announced Shona Robertson will be Deputy First Minister and take the place as Kate Forbes as the Finance Minister. It was she who pushed forward the Gender Recognition Reform Bill under Nicola Sturgeon. And so now she's in that very prominent position, setting up the stage for a legal challenge to Westminster blocking that bill. This is what one of the dads in Denny had to say about that.
Hamza Youssef, the SNP, the Scottish Government, the GRR bill brought...
I'm getting sucked in. I'm going to be on the fucking pitchforks and torches and pitchforks. Torch. What did I say there? Fuck's sake. Neither nor bong, neither nor vape. That is going back in time.
Tells the pupils 4 times how nice sex feels. It then reinforces that. In the teacher's notes, it tells the teacher to ask the children, why do adults have sex? And then it instructs them to coax the following answer out, because it feels nice.
My son was abused at a young age and I have huge concerns for him being in school right now. The teachers are explaining to my child what he's been through is okay. What happened to you is okay because it feels nice. I'm trying to get my child through this as best as I can, and his school.
See, she makes very valuable. Whoa, what happened there? She makes very. Whoa. She makes very valuable points there, I think. I think I can hear myself back, which is really screwing me up. But she makes very good points there. I think, because if this is what's going out to 10-year-olds, right? 10-year-olds can be mental age-wise, they can be all over the gaff, you know what I mean? They can be very immature, whereas they can be very mature as well. I need to push a button here. And I don't even think I'll be able to change it. Hold on. Don't know why all of a sudden it's changed. Right, alright, that's what I need to do. Advanced audio options. There we go. No. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Something weird just fucking went on, John. Sorry, man, this is fucking weird. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play this. But as I was saying, like, kids' heads can be in different spaces at the ages. And to confuse, especially kids that have been abused, and their mum's like, no, that's not right, that shouldn't happen to you, that's really, really, really wrong. If that ever happens to you again, anybody touches you in the privates, you come and tell me straight away, that's wrong, nobody should touch there, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Probably the same shit that you've got, along those lines that you got, that I got when I was younger, you know? And then you're fucking going into school. And at 10-year-olds, I don't know about you, I know fucking, where I was at 10-year-old, man, I wasn't fucking anywhere near that sort of a fucking sexual awakening. Anywho, and that could be dead confusing and fuck kids' fucking heads up. And what annoys me is, I think what she's saying is very, very, very reasonable. And I think the other side, would be somebody on the other side that would think that's very, very reasonable as well. And then you could get reasonable people to sit in the room, both fucking compromise a little and come to an agreement, but no, gets turned into a political fucking football every fucking time. Right, I'm going to have to see if I can fix this. I'm sure I can get feedback.
Bringing this out in class.
Get feedback.
What's my child going to be sitting there thinking? This needs to stop. Hen. And I'm not just standing up for my own child because of what's happened to us. I'm standing up for every single child in Scotland, Britain, everywhere. This needs to be stopped.
Earlier this month, Niall Fraser made the call to see the Sandyford Children's Gender Clinic bricked up, just as its counterpart, the Tavistock Gender Clinic, has been closed down in London.
I've only been to the Sandyford once. It was with somebody else. What's happening here? That's in Glasgow, Sandyford.
It says on the sign there, gender service. If you can zoom in on the sign, please. It's a gender disservice.
And it's actually from the Sandyford Clinic that the rshp.scot material is administered. Then we had Pastor Arthur O'Malley speaking up. He said we need to see protests like this all over Scotland.
I'm glad to be here with you guys, and I pray let this become a forest fire that's going to go over all our nation, and let the people of Scotland, decent people, will stand up. They're only looking for a few, and this will galvanise more and more. So the Lord bless you, and thank you for...
The Lord, did he say the Lord bless you? I'm pretty sure he did say the Lord bless you.
Allow me to speak.
Thank you.
See, then it gets politicised, and it turns into a left versus right thing. And then there's a lot of people who would engage with it, won't engage with it because it's been turned into a political football. And that's my fucking point. I don't have any solutions, but my solution is withdrawing your consent, doing our own election. Right? Once you get more people at our box than their box, they can no longer hit you with clubs and put their fucking people in weird fucking outfits in the parliament and shout at each other like little kids and say that they're doing it with consent, because that's the only way they get away with it. They say they've got a social contract with the people because they govern and police with consent, and you ask, where's the signature of the people to govern by consent? When you go into that ballot box, how do you fucking make your mark? A fucking X. Do you know what an X was? It was a signature of a fucking stupid person before we revolted and earned the fucking right to, got the right and the ability to learn to read and write. You know, that's what a lot of people don't know this. You know, the King James Bible, there was obviously a Bible before it, and the King James one is kind of known as the Proddy one. Now, the thing that the Catholics didn't like the King James Bible for so much was because it was the first Bible that was put into English that the people could read. See, up until that point, all the Bibles that were in Britain, and I would assume through what's it called? Through every Catholic country, which was everyone at the time, were written in Latin. And the only people that could read and write Latin were priests, were of the church. So they had a monopoly. And then the King James Bible broke that monopoly, which is a lot to do with all the troubles that ensued. Anyway, ScottishFamily.org. I support, I agree with them and a lot of their fucking points they're making there and shit. What I don't like is it gets used to, well, it's not getting used. They are a big bunch. They are heavy Christian folk, which I don't know why that should matter, but it just, you don't see very many Muslims kicking about with them, that's all I'm saying. Right. So, that goes into the trans thing because it's about trans. It's about the right to get your dick chopped off. Oh! Remember the thing I was saying about the BNP when it came toxic? They splintered and all these other groups appeared on the interwebs. Here's another one of them. Jones. Now you wouldn't think it by looking at his wee face and his lovely fucking demeanour and all that, but this guy was charged and I'm pretty sure jailed for sending razor blades to Jews through the post.
Morning, I've had to come really early because I've got a lot to do. Following from my last video, I'm disappointed the Liverpool Echo has not been in touch to give Jones a voice so people can hear what I have to say about real and worrying concerns facing the people of this community. I'm also disappointed none of the sitting councillors, Liam Robinson, Wendy Salmon, Liz Parsons, also haven't been in touch.
Aye, God's little helper, I
Offered
can
my-
hear you. With the
I've
similarities.
offered to help in formulating.
I was doing my washing, my laundry earlier on, and I had talk radio on. I don't know who the presenter was, but they were speaking to an old, a retired or current DOD guy, right? And he was saying he expects war in 6 years. And he's like, who do you expect war with? And he's like, fucking could be anybody. Could be China, North Korea, could be the Russians. We're already at war with the fucking Russians. What are you talking about, you dick? And this is because I think at the moment there's some day for the government out there bumping their gums about money for the fucking... We need to give more money to our army and shit.
Some sort of plan of action.
A while I made a video ago, I made a video saying, why are the gas prices hiking up? Why are the electricity prices hiking up? Why are the petrol prices hiking up? Why are the food? Because we're in a wartime economy. They don't hand out ration books anymore. They hike the fucking prices and fucking balance the books that way. And if you don't believe we're in a wartime economy, I don't know, maybe the mega superstores, if this makes sense, but up here, through here in Britain, we have like smaller entities of the big ones that cost a couple of pence cheaper. They're usually in the fucking inner cities. And the prices have just went through the fucking roof. Inflation is the new ration book, and it's through the roof. And it's not over yet.
To deal with some of the problems facing this community. Unfortunately, silence. They believe if they ignore the big elephant in the room, it'll go away. Sadly, that's not going to be the case. It's not going away. Right? The problems in this community are festering by the day. Too many different
colours.
People.
Too many different people.
With different cultures, backgrounds, belief systems, values, standards, have been housed in this once proud working class community to the detriment. It hasn't been for the benefit of this community. It's been the complete opposite. Do we really want a situation where...
I do agree with him, right? Because I've lived in a few different spots and experienced this in different levels, and where I grew up, it was pretty much 99.5% all white. That's changed now where I used to stay. Then I moved through to the big city, the big smoke, and I was like, holy fuck, man. And I moved into a predominantly, it was like almost wholly Asian area. It was crazy, man. I'd seen nothing like it. I didn't give a flying fuck, man. It was actually kind of peaceful. But I don't blame the people. I blame the people managing the country. As our birth rate has lowered, the need to influx people from abroad has heightened. And when you pile a lot of people, I mean, like, it's capitalism. I mean, the more competition, cheaper price. So the more competition there is for jobs, cheaper the labour's going to be. Plus, they need to keep that work. They need to keep that birth rate up to keep the population at a certain level to balance the books to their creditors for all the loans they get and shit like that, man. It beggars belief, but it's beyond our understanding. And this guy wants you to go and beat up Mr. Brownie at the end of the street, and you're like, that's just not going to happen. Well, Tommy Robinson done a good job of it, didn't he? Fucking mobilising all sorts of fucking windy-licking motherfuckers. Anyway, let's hear what he's got to say.
People.
This goes into brown people in boats. I know he's not talking, but this is...
Are frightened to come into Kensington and Fairfield because of the bad name that it's now getting. And it is, trust me, right? And it'll only...
Stewie, you know, you make a very interesting point here, and answers on a postcard for anybody that knows this, man. You remember, I remember when I was in school at some point, starting with, there was a hole in the ozone, and we had to stop using fucking spray deodorants. And apparently we've mended the hole, and then, so what I say is just let us use the bad spray deodorants again. We'll open up a couple more holes again and let some of the heat out, and we've not got any more global warming. Use your heads, people. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Get worse unless the cultural change this community is undergoing is stopped while the community takes a deep breath and starts to try and put things right again. Put the Scouse back into Kensington and Fairfield, like I previously said. I know miracles can't be achieved overnight, I understand that. But ignoring Joe Owens, believing the problems in this community will go away, is very short-sighted. You councillors, you're
They claim the ozone layer holes moved.
On the probable risk of one of you losing your seat to Joe Owens.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, I can't remember, but he ran before.
I speak to people
and his numbers were
pathetic. On the door. I'm just about to.
Right, ex-BNP guy. He was in the BNP at the same time as Tommy Robinson, Jim Dowson, and Nick Griffin. And now all these four figures are away doing their independent things. But funnily talking about all the same talking points. Independently, of course. Right, where am I? Where's the moose loose about this hoose? Right, what's this? Alright. This guy cracks me up. Not only does he sound like Z for Police Academy, he's a Romanian nationalist who predominantly puts out Western English speaking, predominantly United States political talking points. So this is another one for the Musk. And you do need to go watch an interview. It's funny as fuck. Just don't get wrapped up in the politics of it. Right, here's Danny Tomo. Now, now think of the people and what they're saying and the talking points and how they all... I remember I spent ages doing the Truth Industrial Complex family tree and just showing you how all these people were in a big vast network of blowing smoke up each other's arse. All pretty calling themselves independent journalists and all talking about the same shit, just in different accents with different faces, even some for Romania. Right, but this goes into the trans one. And remember Danny Tomo's Tommy Robinson's best mate, and Tommy Robinson was in the BNP at the same time as fucking Jim Dowson, Nick Griffin, and your man Jones. And they're all now independently out there, independently running YouTube channels, independently, all talk about the same shit.
It's one of our values, the British value. And if you refuse to do it, that will be dealt with severely. Why would I care if anyone in this room wants to love somebody?
Right, here's something I want to point out. And there'll be folk out there fucking throwing their slippers at the screen going, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Just watch this, right? Something that you won't, to the untrained eye, you won't hear or see. Or somebody that's already made their mind up before it starts.
You don't have a choice whether or not you learn about...
Right, nothing before this, nothing in the run-up. Boom, starts with this guy raging. That wee boy could have fucking spat in this cunt's face for all we know.
LGBTQ plus in school. You don't have a choice. It's one of our values, the British value. And if you refuse to do it, that will be dealt with severely. What?
Cut! Start again. So they're editing out what the little boy is saying. Why is that? Have you ever met some of the wee cheeky bastards you get about nowadays? What this? How did this wee cheeky bastards fucking content filmed audio end up in the hands of Danny Tomo? Huh? What kind of household's he coming from? If it's a household that's fucking hanging around with people that know how to get fucking audio to Danny Tomo? Anybody asking these questions are getting carried away with this teacher being a prick. And as I'm saying, you have no idea what that wee cheeky bastard is saying in between all these cuts and edits. No idea. And see some of the kids I've met, man. Woo! You need to hold your cool. You know what I mean? Some of them are really good at winding motherfuckers up. And especially kids nowadays, because they know you can't fucking give them a... Back in the day, my dad called it a thick ear. Quick backhander, do you know what I mean? Can't do that anymore. Fuck, I went to school with a maths teacher who you could see him gritting his teeth every day because I was a good wee bastard at winding people up. And I would... I would wind them up, and he came for the days where you could give fucking people the ruler, the back of the hand or the belt, boom, and you could see him wanting to date to me all the time, and he couldn't because he'd stopped at that time. How do I think I'm the Dalai Lama, mate, with my sucking, because I'm sucking on this? It's my glass dick, mate. Anyway, so that goes in the trans thing. And again, I may agree or disagree with some of the points, other points, so on and so forth, right? It might actually surprise you because I'm not criticising. This guy's got the right to do that. I'm pointing out the interwoven web of people saying the same shit, claiming they're independent and just telling you the truth. When I'm arguing it's politically motivated, and this LGBT thing is politically motivated because it's a left versus right issue, very polarising, and that's the world in which we stay. Okay, so what's that? Danny Tomo, who's this dude?
So today we've got Ian Jarvis. Thank you so much for coming on, Ian.
There's still people going on about 5G. Is it you know it's rolled out. You know you can buy 5G phones. The birds haven't fell out of the sky. I've not heard of anybody turning into fucking crazy folk, apart from me. Right. What category can I put that in? Conspiratard? Flat Earth, I'll put that in, right? And remember, this guy sitting here on a kind of snidey fucking webcam, to be honest. I mean, it's no filling you with confidence that he knows all the science and all that behind fucking all the waves that are out there doing X, Y, and Z. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe he's just rhyming and repeating fucking interweb pages that he's fucking... He's a wooden hat guy blazing, that's it. Mate, I'll put the link in the chat and you can go and leave a comment and tell him just to buy a wooden hat. That'll save him. And write it serious and see if you get a reply. And don't take the piss. Don't fucking troll him or anything. Just ask him.
You got Keith. You got Lucas.
Who's a
trans. It brings trans up to score with a turd versus other turd. And remember, see if all exposure is good exposure when it comes to advertising. Bud Light have cracked it with this motherfucker. Some people think they're just doing it to be woke, but look at the exposure they're getting from every fucking angle. Left, right and centre. I watched, well, you can see how much of that I watched fucking a couple, less than a minute, 2 minutes. And they were drinking Bud Light on it. What an advertisement, eh? Apart from the fucking weird fucking... She could do a scary movie, man. Fox News.
Such an outcome. It's corrupt.
Right, remember, here's Avadi...
What do you think about the idea that...
Avadi Mini... Why did I say Fox News there? Did it say Fox News somewhere?
What do you think about the idea that of Victoria Police investigating themselves, finding such an outcome?
It's corrupt.
Were you expecting any different?
I would have thought after everything that's gone on the last 2.5 years, 3 years, that they would have got something a little bit better than that.
You're kidding me on. The police investigate themselves? Oh! Stop my fucking beating heart! When did this hit? When did this start happening? Oh! This guy needs a bullet or surprise for that fucking cracking journalism there. Or is it more... in fact, that goes in the turd versus turd. Bring down the state. Bring down the democunts. What the fuck is this? Oh! Right. Because if you trace the money, the beliefs, so on and so forth, of a lot of these missions, crusades, that's the word I was looking for, that you'll find bouncing about the interwebs, you can usually trace them back to fundamental Christians. I'll give you an example. Anti-vaxxers. Right? Who hates that? Right? Why would fundamental Christians be so opposed to anti-vaccinations? Right? Before I answer that, is anybody aware of the militant Christians against abortion and the lengths they've went to? I don't know if they've killed people. I might retract that. I'll need to check that out. But they've definitely fucking bombed cars and done all sorts of crazy ass shit against the anti-abortion stuff. Now, that fits in hand in glove with your anti-vax. And if you want to know why, go and research how they done the research led to vaccinations. And to do research on new vaccinations, I don't know what part of the process, by the way. I did read it, but it's no stay in. But go and check it out. They need to use embryos, and people that are anti-abortion, an embryo is life. So the people who make vaccinations are as fair game as the people who facilitate abortions. And what you'll find 9 times out of 10, it's the same people. Then you'll get Alex Jones calling him Satan and stuff, sitting up there telling you that he's telling you the truth, talking about anti-abortion and fucking, hey, God, Saviour, man, and all his music being fucking like pure hillbilly fucking God music and shit. And it all fucking having very biblical connotations, you know? Fucking... hold on. Breaking news, maybe. oh, it's blazing. I missed your WhatsApp thing, man. Italian original language rules all strawmen unlocked. I think this is what I was talking about earlier on, buddy. I'm sure. Like, you know, like all the... Mate, this better not have any porn on it.
Dear brothers and sisters.
Oh, can you see that shit?
Excuse me, because I speak in Italian, but I am not speaking English. But I will speak no Italian, no English, but carefully. È una lingua più semplice e più autentica. E questa lingua del cuore ha un linguaggio e una grammatica speciale. La grammatica semplice, 2 regole. Ama Dio, soprattutto, e ama l'altro perché è tuo fratello e la tua sorella. E con queste 2 cose andiamo avanti. Io sono qui con mio fratello, mio vescovo fratello.
It's like a fucking soap, you just want to get to the end.
Siamo amici da anni. E lui mi ha detto del vostro convegno, del vostro raduno. Con piacere quindi un saluto gioioso e nostalgico. Gioioso perché a me dà gioia che voi siete riuniti per lodare Gesù Cristo, l'unico Signore, per pregare al Padre e ricevere lo Spirito. E questo dà gioia perché si vede che il Signore lavora in tutto il mondo. È nostalgico perché, ma succede come nei quartieri fra noi, non è?
Alright, I was going to say, mate, I didn't know how long it was going to go into. It's a deep fake. Who knows, mate? It's just an old man speaking shite, man. Nothing new there. But I'll definitely give that a listen to, mate. I like listening to all that kind of stuff, man. You're right, OG. It is always the end times, and then you listen to different people telling you that the end times means a new beginning, and the apocalypse doesn't mean the end, it means the start, and all that kind of jazz. And you're like, fucking hell, who made all this bullshit up? It is like watching a bad Hollywood film with holes in the script. But the reason I wanted to point that stuff out is, again, that falls into the Alex Jones Truth for Industrial Complex family tree. If I'm not mistaken, the Dan Bidondi was a wrestler, and then he ended up on fucking Alex Jones' show for a bit, and then branched off and started doing his own stuff. And as you can see, and I have nothing against that, man. You might go and read the Bible and live your life with the Bible batter in, but don't start bouncing up and tell people you're telling them the truth because the New World Order's coming, and then fucking letting the next breath tell me you believe there's fucking magic men in the fucking sky, you dick. Do you know what I mean? But, I don't know. Each to their own, as I'm saying, but if you notice all the eerie similarities and where all these people come from, again, just like I'm pretty sure Jim Dawson could tell you that verse word for word, and from the King James Bible, first ever Bible written in English. Right,
Americans are starved of reliable information when it comes to crime. Is it going up? Is it coming down? And are the true figures being buried? Whatever the case, there's an increasing sense of lawlessness sweeping the United States that hasn't been felt since the LA riots. Chaotic scenes like those witnessed at Baltimore City's Inner Harbor District are becoming more and more commonplace.
Remember, this show's about fun, not fear. If you go and look through these people's content, it's always doom and motherfucking gloom. And again, it's a narrative. This isn't the complete picture. It's like showing you a school of sharks. The sharks go to school. It shows you lots of sharks in one bit. Look, the ocean's absolutely full of fucking sharks. Look! You're like, do you know how big the fucking ocean is, motherfucker? Context, not a narrative. And there's a reason for this fear. I don't know about you, I'm scared now.
Baltimore City Police Commissioner Michael Harrison said 200 young people were sent running after gunfire rang out just 50 feet from police officers. Young people.
Just get the fuck away.
Authorities were forced to respond by imposing a nighttime curfew that will last until the end of summer.
Here's how the curfew works. Those under 14 have to be inside by 9 p.m. 14 to 16-year-olds have to be inside by 10 on school nights and 11 on weekends.
Yeah, good luck with that.
BPD policy says officers are not allowed to pursue curfew violators in a vehicle.
Now, I forget what fucking area of the world this is. Baltimore or something. But I'm sure Paul Joseph Watson is telling us this because he really cares for the people of Baltimore, the English prick.
You just have to escape.
Gotta love Democrat-run cities. Meanwhile, in Chicago...
Right, now, bear in mind, we're in a run-up. This is 2013. There's a presidential election in 2014. Come on, the Trump. Not because I support his politics, but because I've got money on him winning, and he's well funnier, more entertaining to watch. So here's another Alex Jones gremlin, you know, because somebody fed Alex. You can clearly see Alex Jones was fed after midnight one time, a few times, and all these wee gremlins are bouncing around all off the wall of the place, telling you their independent views, talking about the same things. Pointing you in a certain particular direction of the political spectrum in the run-up to an election. But that's all just a coincidence, because they don't believe in the left-right paradigm. No. Alex Jones doesn't believe in the left-right paradigm, but you get an interview with Trump. So this goes into the turds versus other turds, which puts him out in front. So we need some more tranny stuff here, man. He looks like a lady. Oh shit. Right, here we go, right.
Some House Democrats, a few House Democrats have called on Dianne Feinstein to resign. Specifically here, the first one to do so is...
Echo!
All right, so we got some breaking news here. So,
some breaking news. I'll stick to the news, thank you very much. But that one goes into turds versus other turds. He's pro-Democrat and finds anti-Republican stuff to put out all day while claiming he's an independent journalist. This was very interesting.
Good evening. After the last meeting, a councillor here branded us as a group of dangerous far-right extremists. In reality, we're unaffiliated individuals who are...
What? Somebody that sounds like me? What? No!
Collectively very concerned about environmental issues and government policies, and we're hoping you can help us with our concerns. In the past, I've taken government...
Now, how ridiculous is this whole climate fucking... Right, no, number one, that goes into turds versus other turds, because the climate has been politicised, if you haven't noticed again, which again polarises everybody, because social media drive people so insane that they're unwilling to consider other people's opinion as well as their own, and compromise along the way of coming to it, and being able to compromise their position in order to reach a solution that we can all live with. It just doesn't happen anymore. Nobody's willing to suggest this shit. Every parliament is broke round the world, or are they functioning correctly? That's what I want to ask. But how ridiculous is that argument? One side needs the other side one side needs everybody to believe that one side of this argument wants to kill the fucking earth. Wants to kill the earth. Point to a lot of PR gobbledygook. Well, there's so many people. Let's just say it's a money-making operation. I politically think it's economically driven. I mean, if you control the energy output and all that of fucking countries, you can control their economy. Come on to fuck. It's clear as day. And this all happens as the rise of China's just fucking happening.
Advice and purchased a car I hated in order to do my bit for the environment. That was when diesel was considered good, until of course it obviously wasn't. Now the government say that electric vehicles are good for the environment. Considering how many times governments U-turn on what is good and what isn't, have members of the panel independently researched the environmental impact of making the batteries for the proposed electric bikes, scooters, buses, etc.? Do you know that in order to extract lithium, a single mine can use over 5,000 tonnes of sulfuric acid per day? To remove the acid, over 3,000...
So again, there's no meeting in the middle. And again, I'm not for one side or the other. You go and make up your own mind. I'm pointing at all the independent sources talking about all the same shit, but with different talking heads to sell it to people that relate to people's different talking heads. Oh, this guy was hilarious. Just do not get him to defend you in court. That's all I'm going to say. I'll give you a synopsis. He goes to say that the Dalai Lama didn't do anything wrong. He's a playful guy. I'll give you an example. If an Indian guy came in, he would grab his fucking beard and start untangling his fucking beard. He might as well have said his turban. That would have been funnier. And if a fat woman walks by, he'll slap her arse and then call her fatty, fatty. And this was his defence of the Dalai Lama. I would love to see him. I would love to see the prosecution. That's all I'm saying. But I done a video on that earlier on. I thought it was funny as fuck, man. And then somehow he turns it into a fucking vaccination sales thing. But he did go to Harvard. Although he does look like Jackie Chan to me, but don't say it. That's one of the things, you don't have the freedom of speech to say anymore. Hey! It's the BG guy.
With regards to the 24 singular video on this topic.
Oh, it's the Trump stuff, so that goes into turd versus other turd. Which takes it way into the lead because, let's face it, open politic warfare with everybody independently telling you that the mainstream media is a load of shite while rhyming and regurgitating all the articles and TV and shit that they've watched the mainstream media, but just selectively cherry picking all the bits they like and not showing you the bits they don't like. I mean, it's an old game. I don't know how many of these useful idiots know they're useful idiots and just believe that they're fucking telling you the truth. He's a Trump dude. He's a left dude. Oh, there's the Daily Mail.
The Daily Shit Pants. Every single day. The Daily Mail does a mess on itself.
See, the way he delivered comments back in the day was a lot better. Now he fucking sniggers like Motley more than he actually talks about stuff.
Harry's blinking. He's not even going back to the palace after the reception, the fucking coronation.
This goes into turd versus turd. Because even the royal family are participating in this left-right thing. And, like, is there a real fracture in the royal family as the left-right paradigm broke the the institution of the royal family? Or are they hedging their bets in case there's a revolution? Harry will come in and be king. They start chopping off everyone else's heads if the trannies win the warfare. Well, that goes into the Elon Musk thing.
I can't
Wait,
even believe that they aired it. Maybe it was
when did Mark
live and somebody just
turn into a bobblehead? But it goes into the Musk. Oh, it's a very funny interview. He does destroy the guy. But it's fell into the just like there's NPR, which is left leaning. Mark Dice is obviously right leaning. This guy's funny, man. When he started out, all right, listen to this. This is fucking hilarious.
Okay, and what is this? Okay, so I have a good story with cigars. Went to Boston with Papa John, you know, Magnum Senior. And we were
Just a
over
normal
in Boston.
run-of-the-mill triffer.
I was probably in college, I think, at the time, and there was this kind of underground cigar bar.
Right.
Where a pretty lady would come up and light you up with her match, and it was like, it felt very underground, very speakeasy-ish. There's a cool speakeasy where I actually met my wife or took her out on a first date, which I won't give the name of the speakeasy, but since Scottsdale, like, no one really knows where it is. Like, you knock on the door, you come.
Well, OG, if you go and look where a lot of the nationalism comes from, it comes from the fascist movement, the kind of like 30s and 40s. I mean, when that became toxic, some would argue a lot of them went underground and are now re-emerging. I mean, look at the leader of the British Fascist Party, Mosley. Now, I'll stand corrected, but I'm pretty sure his son was one of the moguls in fucking Formula
Over a
1.
decade.
Oh, yeah.
And the story is, so not
only that, I might be just making this up because it sounds too good to be true, but the son of Mosley was one of the Formula 1 head guys, and once got caught in a hotel room with hookers. You're like, what? A rich guy gets caught in a hotel with hookers. Hookers, stop the press. But these hookers were dressed up like Nazis. Which is quite funny of the son of the son of the leader of the British Fascist Party, I think.
only is this guy a crypto expert, blockchain expert, along with myself, but like, we've been balling for over a decade. So when I started AMTV very early in 2008 and 09, when everyone was kind of making fun of social media, I kind of got things going because I loved it. It was like my passion and everything.
Money.
And then after a couple of years, we started building teams. This was the first guy that I found on, this is motivation, on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Craigslist, you dumbass American.
Hey, and your dad.
See, when I become dictator, first priority, fucking illegal to pronounce Craig as Craig, you dumbass, fucking weird-tongued fucking Americans.
Yeah, I was not going to go on Craigslist. I just moved to Arizona from California. I was trying to do some music industry stuff, and it just wasn't, it was weird. So I moved out here to Arizona, out to...
I think I might have missed it. But I'm going to stop back right there, because this guy tells you, we just want to tell you the truth, man. Make sure you share it and like it and tell your people, because they're trying to stop us from doing that, man. The algorithms. Let's beat the algorithm and all that. And then you're like, okay, right, I want to see a description of this. Buy my gold, buy my gold, buy my gold, buy my gold, my book. Look at this guy, he'll sell you gold. Buy my gold, buy my gold. Look at this, the fucking island project. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a Ponzi scheme at all. Remember Ken O'Keefe? And how much thousands of pounds those cunts get off with some sort of good citizen fucking scheme? That cunt's still staying in a tropical island because of idiots on fucking line thinking he was telling the truth because they bought into him with a wee tear. And relax. Now, back in the day when I was ball deep and in the cult of Alex Jones, that motherfucker convinced me gold was better than fucking oxygen. Better than air. Better than something. Better than everything. I bought myself some gold. Next time I was skint, I tried to sell that gold and realised how hard it was to sell that gold fucking for the value of gold. Right? Plus the value anyway, long story short, man, See this gold fucking thing? It's a Ponzi scheme. Sitting there telling you how gold is better than money and the Federal Reserve is so... Remember, Federal Reserve isn't federal, it's private. Right? And all that shit. And they'll tell you, money shit, but gold is really good. If I was you, I would buy gold. You're like, right, okay, well, I've got gold here. You want to swap me your money for it? No. I want to keep my money. Why do you want to keep your money if gold's better? It doesn't make sense. Where's the logic? Follow logic, people, and not the boner pills. Now it's crypto cults, OG. Well done, man, eh? And it's like, if you go and look into these people, a lot of them are in the financial world. This cunt fucking's against. He's a financial wizard that runs a YouTube channel. If you're a financial wizard, you're fucking making millions in a few deals and stuff. What does that bracket does that go into? Flat Earth, I think. No, well, he's in the Trump train. Fuck, that needs to go in the third sandwich. Versus douchebag or whatever it was called. Right, this is quite funny.
Issuing this warning here about AI-generated versions of his podcast surfacing on the internet. And this is really a slippery
slope. Yeah. Now, I've listened to this guy's bullshit so many times. Doesn't understand a lot of things and over dramatises everything. I remember one time this poor guy's peanut brain was showing you, it wasn't his film, he goes there, he's gets so many alerts on his phone, it keeps him up at night. And again, off Zero Hedge, go and see the flavour of content that they put out, right? What he usually does is get Zero Hedge, screenshot, put a fucking screen recorder over it and read the first few lines of all these questionable articles. And anyway, this is meant to be fun, not fear. Right, let's see how we're going to get scared with a talking computer.
slope, not just with Joe Rogan, but with anyone and everyone out there.
Oh my God, it could get you.
This new AI version sounds just like him, and any newbie coming along out there that didn't know the difference would sit back and listen to one of these podcasts and think that it is Joe Rogan all day long.
The Epoch Times.
It's his voice. It's all pure manipulation, and it's all created by AI, even if it's not fact-based. It's rather interesting, though, this podcast that gets dropped, because it talks about AI, and it also talks about Joe, his thoughts on AI, and it's completely made up by AI. So it can say whatever it wants. Again.
Right. Again, this is either the end of the world as we know it and Rise of the Machines, or an advert. Could this be an advert? Right? Because for whatever reason, there's people out there that would want this. Lots of people. Lots and lots and lots and lots of people. Now, I'll show you, I'll let this go on, but let's just go to the source that he's using. The fake video is titled Joe Rogan AI's Experience 01, features guest Sam Alci, CEO of OpenAI, the creator of artificial intelligence system Chat GPT. So this guy's created the stuff that Joe Rogan is now on his show warning people about. I don't know about you, man. I'm going to copy and paste that and go and buy me some fucking artificial intelligence. Start fucking the revolution. We are the resistance, remember, folks.
For anyone out there that enjoys listening to podcasts or anyone, they can be faked en masse, and this is a huge alert. So he calls it a growing threat that is going on here. This new show that just aired on platforms here on April 11th are showing this fake video, the Joe Rogan AI Experience Episode 1. I'm going to leave a link below so you guys can watch and listen to this, and you can see for yourself just how crazy this is getting, the path that they're taking this down. So if it doesn't get checked or stopped at some point here, it's going to be like this everywhere. Even my live shows, they start doing what they want with AI. Then what? They start eliminating the everyday people, and replacing them with AI.
Oh, mate, they're
Big
coming
things to
after
think about
you.
here.
Oh, fucking
Especially
they.
for the long
What
term.
are they going to do?
Gonna leave
What are
links
they?
They. Hit that subscribe button
These
for more.
people are
This has been
fucking
Gapu
author rocker, man. Oh, that's right. I had to go here and listen to it. Right, I wanted to see, right. This is on the Joe Rogan Experience. They and him, his mate, have artificially created this using this guy's software. It's not behind their backs. It's done with their consent. As the disclaimer says, it's not their views or opinions or anything. It's just... Look at him there. He looks like a fucking old man. It doesn't even look like Joe Rogan there. But anyway...
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of the Joe Rogan AI Experience. I'm your host, Joe Rogan, or at least that's what this AI model thinks I sound like. Let me tell you folks, this is some next level stuff we've got going on here today. Every single word of this podcast has been generated with the help of ChatGPT, the cutting-edge AI language model developed by OpenAI.
Advert. I want to go and buy me some of that. Well, Dabu 7, excuse me for not thinking. It's the rise of the machines. Oh, this is funny. Helping out the trans in the old score here.
Of Pankhurst.
Oh, this is the violence. The woman on man stroke woman thing. Violence. The trans ninjas. Look, there's tranny ninjas.
Pretty appalling scenes. They also...
Now, I don't give a fuck what she feels like or relates to, or whatever way they want to explain it. Genetically, it's a man. They are a man. Genetically, they are a man, which gives them, typically speaking, a hell of a lot more fucking power and physical structure to fucking batter lumps out of women. That's fucked up, man. Mega fucked up.
Tied the trans rights flag around the statue's waist, like an apron. Well, J.K. Rowling shared the video of the clash on Twitter. She said, "I never expected the right side of history to include so many people in masks intimidating and assaulting women. Did you?" So can trans rights coexist with women's rights? It's all getting very emotive and very heated. In a moment, I'll be speaking to women's rights activist Kelly J. Keane, who was speaking on that day.
See, OG, I think, again, I think this is something subjective. And see, the people that are against so-called AI, it traces back to where? Who have investment in this? Again, it comes down to fundamental fucking religious people who believe it's going against creation. Troll traces back to the same fucking sources, all these fucking things, and waters down into different camps through the power of YouTube and such. But it's I think the main question about AI is subjective. And as you said, OG, what is AI? What is AI? I mean, I sit and fucking type in 3 letters of the word I'm trying to spell, and Google knows what I'm going to say. To me, that shows intelligence, but I don't believe it's AI. I believe it's a finely crafted algorithm that's collected so much data for everybody. They can now make easy predictions about the masses. People with that data and the algorithms can make easy predictions. Predictions about how the masses are going to act, what they're going to say, what they're trying to spell, so on and so forth. Now, in my simpleton not, this is the way I explain it to myself. The first 3 letters of a particular word, over time, it will learn what's the most popular word that those 3 letters put together will spell, and thus put that at the top of the suggestion list. And as that builds up and builds up and builds up and builds up, we have what we have today. And surely that's only... But again, I just think that's a very clever algorithm. It brings up the question, what the fuck is life? Never mind intelligence. I mean, these things are intelligent as fuck. As I said, they can predict what you're saying and stuff. And it's accurate to a scary extent. But is it ever going to be alive? Are they ever going to be able to create something that's going to challenge us in the sense that we can't put a hammer through it? Is there ever going to be standing armies of independent fucking things that could come and enslave us? Something I'm not going to be alive to see, unfortunately, man, but I've got plenty of movies to tick me over in the meantime, baby. And in the meantime, I'm not going to wet my knickers over progress. You know, I'm pretty sure there was fucking human beings, or whatever we called themselves back in the day, wetting their knickers over fire. Ooh, firebug burn me, ooh. Ah, fuck off, I'm fucking frying my fucking saber tooth over here, motherfucker. Get me some cat meat. People wetting their knickers over mirrors. You remember mirrors? The technology of mirror. People thought it was stealing your soul. It was the camera, wasn't it? And again, fucking crazy fucking religious people thinking fucking taking a picture, stealing your soul. I'm pretty sure there was people wetting their knickers over the fucking radio. Telling you the radio waves are going to fry your brain, or mass mind control. And in a sense it is mass mind control, and putting out media to put out suggestions to control not what you think, but what you think about, and thus creating a more pliable, controllable populi. And along the way of every new major breakthrough, there's been a group out there fucking wetting their knickers. You look at the fucking Amish. They're still wetting their knickers, man. They're still fucking... all they do is laundry all day because they're still wetting their fucking knickers over... I'm surprised they even use wheels. Motherfuckers. Anyway, let's see.
First trans woman and activist Jane, not her real name. She's wearing a mask to protect her identity.
Oh my God.
The site of the protest. Jane, welcome.
Jane, I particularly like the way the mask accentuates your Adam's apple hen.
Well, it's good to hear. Honestly,
it's really good.
To talk to you. I want to have a proper debate with you. It's an uncensored show, so you can speak your mind. Here's my question for you. You're standing at the side of where all this went down. When you see the video footage...
When the shit goes down, you better be ready. Better be ready. When shit goes down.
Basically physically assaulting a woman
I got that right.
Who was sitting there. What do you feel?
I feel annoyed because the footage is cut and it doesn't show them storming in, shoving people over that little bit of concrete over there, which is kind of dangerous, you know. You could hurt your head quite a lot doing that. It doesn't show them shoving, strangling and kicking people. And there's also not the, you know, I think I sent footage to the producers of the show. I doubt you guys will want to show it, but we've got other footage of the same TERFs that came over and tried to assault us there, strangling and punching people.
I think you could do with a girdle.
Listen, I think if you don't mind me saying, you're playing slight whataboutery. So I only really want to know, what is your reaction to the footage we have seen, which clearly shows some of the people that you were with assaulting a woman? I mean, you can't be happy that that is the image that your group has now seen around the world as doing.
I mean, firstly, I would say, as I just said, you know, the footage is cut. You can't see the start of the footage. And the people dressed in black, who are our security to protect members, vulnerable members of our community, they are
People dressed in black. I thought it was just your dress code, mate. Check you
They're
out.
defending themselves because these women came in when we were already having a peaceful protest there and started attacking us. They will spin it the other way. JK will spin it the other way. They'll all spin it the other way. But that is what happened. It's just they have a lot more money and power than us, so it's easier for them to get a reach and put that message out.
But let me ask you.
But what I would say, you know, the way I really feel about that. I think it was a good thing that we came to that. You said that it was because we didn't like Emmeline. It's not that we didn't like Emmeline. She was racist.
I think he's going for the Edward Scissorhands trans look.
That we don't want these hateful transphobic
I'd wish he takes his
women
hands out and
coming
shows
in.
if
Some
he's
of
got
whom,
big
Kelly
fucking
J. Key,
scissors
for
on them.
example, is a big racist, a
gonna
big
ask him for a
conspiracy
haircut.
theorist, an anti-vaxxer, a fascist. We don't want these people coming in.
What the fuck? There's anti-vaxxer getting brought into it again. Can everybody see that everybody's just not walking about with fucking like social media threats? Fucking pupils, trans people, LGBT fucking Q fucking thing. left versus right people, right politicians are assholes, left politicians are assholes. It's like a fucking collective madness we've got, man.
And standing next to this icon of feminism,
Right, but
and
let
the
me
suffragette
okay.
movement.
Look,
and
I'm going to speak. Okay, listen.
No, Piers.
But you're a dude, mate. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't win you the vote. You always had it.
Listen, Piers, listen,
I'm
stop
listening.
shouting over me. They are appropriating the imagery of the suffragette movement, a movement for women's liberation, and rebranding it as...
I need to say, The Sun, Rupert Murdoch's empire. Talk TV, Rupert Murdoch's empire. Just pointing that out. And yet again, they're talking about the trans shit.
This hateful movement against trans people, and we don't stand for that. And the majority of women, the majority of feminists don't stand for it
All
either.
right, let me put my cards on the table. I've always supported trans rights to fairness and equality, and I mean that sincerely. I want everyone...
bro.
Well, you can say bro, and that's fine. You're entitled to. It's an uncensored show, and you've just proven it. But let me just say to you, I always
wasn't your profile picture?
Well,
wasn't your
hang
profile
on,
picture?
I listened to...
Identifying as a penguin.
There's no point. There's no
What's
point
wrong with
swearing.
that?
I apologise to our viewers for your bad language.
You can get some cracking penguin onesies, man. Like, I don't know about you, I just get flashbacks to the Abbey Nationals, it was known back then. Advert like, I want to be a twee. Only certain people get
language.
that.
This is a chance for you to present yourself in a way where we can have a proper debate. If you've got no interest in doing that, that's fine. But I'm just going to say to you that I've always supported trans rights to fairness and equality.
Right, now this is a serious question and point. Well, it's quite funny as well. And I'm pretty sure they would be upset if I said it to them, which means I wouldn't say it to them in person. Just taking the piss out of it right now. I thought trans people were dudes trying to look like women or feeling like women. Why is this dude who feels like a woman dressing like a man? That's all I'm saying. Is the woman he feels like a lesbian?
My issue with the way this trans debate is going is in issues like sport, for example, where I think it's very unfair that trans women should be competing against women born to female biological bodies. I have issues about safety for women. I have issues about other...
Oh, mate, he's a good wind-up artist, man, that's for sure. You know, and again, like, earlier on with that thing with the trans person speaking to that guy in some sort of panel show or something, it's just like shooting fish in a barrel, man.
Their websites, you can have a look at their Twitters. Like, they are transphobic.
Yes, but I am
Kelly
talking
J.
to you...
Keane was kicked out of
I
Women's...
just
Kelly
said
J.
to you...
Keane
All
was
right, if you're
kicked
going
out
to...
of Women's Place UK for being
If
too
you don't want to have a
racist.
civilised
Like, these are not
conversation with
good
me...
people.
Okay, look, I'm trying to give you a chance. I've explained my position. What is your problem with my position?
I don't really know. I'm going to leave the interview now. I kind of only came on here because...
And like, I know he's a good interviewer, mate, and he controls the interview, and he definitely got out of that what they wanted. And I'll repeat, The Sun, Rupert Murdoch empire. Talk TV, Rupert Murdoch Empire, Piers Morgan, a former editor of one of the big papers down in England, can't remember what one now, and get out of the editing game when newspapers meant jack anymore, and now he's on TV. But I do feel for it, because if we did get the wider context of that, he's saying that they were there peacefully protesting, these women walked up and started fucking hitting them or whatever, and then they had security come in, and that's the bit that we're saying, which is quite plausible, by the way, because this whole thing is getting turned into a political football to control people at the ballot box. And that's as simple as that, because I guarantee if you went out and got a pool of normal people from both sides of this argument, put them in a room, you could find a compromised position. But Talk Radio, The Sun doesn't want that. Talk TV doesn't want that. They want everybody angry for the clicks and the hits, and it's politically mobilising people one way or the other. Anywho, be going soon. What's this? Alright. That goes into the war. I've only had 2 for war. Well, they're not starting any new wars right now. It's just called concentrated in Ukraine, innit? Oh, look. Dead. Now, people who aren't familiar with Irish politics might be asking, who's the fuck is the old leprechaun with a cane? Who's that guy that looks like Humpty Dumpty met a leprechaun? Ate a leprechaun? Well, that would be the Republic of Ireland. Ireland. It's my Ireland. Prime Minister or President, I don't know what they called him there. Now, it's good to see these countries. It's good to see that Joe Biden. It's good to see there's somebody out there that makes Joe Biden look like the youngin. Oh, I think it was just he didn't know The Walking Dead. Blazing Dogs Know a Badging. I think it was he just doesn't like The Walking Dead. I mean, did you see Biden walk? It was like... I mean, like, in all seriousness. Look. He floats like Dracula. That's an old dog. That won't be winning any sprints anytime soon. Aye, get rid of the dog. He's embarrassing Biden. Get the leprechaun back out. To be sure. He's guarding my pot of gold. You can't blame him. He's guarding my pot of gold against that dodgy American. That Dracula from America. What does that go into? Just funny. For fun, not fear. It's just a mock to fucking walking dead people. Alright, this goes into turds versus other turds, which they're going to win. So, what states this? And it just shows a woman waking up. Oh man, there's some mental shit in this actually. Shows you a woman waking up to a homeless guy in the car. Go.
Well, that tourist took the advice. Others are not so lucky, as we've seen over and over again.
Witnesses caught this smash and grab involving a black Mercedes near Pier 39 in late October. The victim, who was visiting from Miami, told...
Right. So, I didn't check out this channel. I'm going to put this in as turd versus turd, because this will be a Democratic-owned state that's passed legislation that the Republicans didn't agree with, and now they're going round and getting all the crime videos blaming it on the legislation. Just Daily Caller shows, shorts. Alright, I waited to the end of that and it was the Daily Caller. If you don't know who the Daily Caller is, in fact, I got it up. Any guesses? And again, this is doing your due diligence. See, before you blindly watch that and you go, and sitting in Glasgow, me then go and rhyme and repeat to fucking other folk. Have you seen that fucking crime wave hitting fucking America? Oh, it's the Democrats and the things that they're passing and all that. Go and see, because that's all fucking selectively cut shit. You don't know when it's coming from and where and so on and so forth. Founders. Tucker Carlson. Do you know who he is? If you know half about fucking American politics, you'll know who he is. I don't know if he's former, or he still is a presenter on Fox News, but you'd see a lot of clips on him doing the rounds through right-wing independent YouTubers who don't believe in the left-right paradigm while punting you right-wing politics. And Alex Jones talking about him as the only reliable presenter on mainstream media. Right, what have we got here? Oh, that's just bullshit I brought up. And that Pope thing I'll be watching later. Oh, thank fuck, is finished. I've talked enough pish. And next week, what I think I'll do, rather than go through all my bookmarks, which is quite monotonous and boring, and it's just a lot of old news stories, I'll try and dig out an old show. An old See Through the Fear porn or something. Which will be fun. When I had a different haircut. a few less wrinkles, maybe. It's amazing how young you can look. So I'll try and dig out an old live show, which will be fun, and we'll go through that instead of the bookmarks. But you live and you learn. Trials and tribulations. So George Doors. What are the scores on the doors? Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, so throughout all those clips, God knows how many there was, all those different sources, all that independent media, and you got 8 different talking points, more or less. So it's the same jobby supper, just with different sauces, you know? I like my jobby supper with hot sauce. I take mine with mayonnaise. I take mine with tomato. And everybody's gobbling it up and go, my jobby supper's better than yours. I know the truth. And I think, to me, it became blatantly obvious after a while of just fucking watching so much of that stuff. So Trans had 7 clips, 7 talking points. War only had 2. Must be because Ukraine's actually losing the war right now. Maybe that's why it is. Third versus third, which is like just political, newsworthy stories, which everybody's telling you independently. Easily won it with 16. There was 2 Peter Geddon stories, but they were very old ones. Peter Geddon's been put on the back burner now in modern times. Man versus woman, just polarising the man versus woman. And again, that's politically motivated, isn't it? That's ref. So you can stick that in the fucking turds versus other turds. Because man versus woman is polarised, you know. Right-wing people believe you should be able to beat your wife, and left-wing people are a little less along those lines. Brown people on boat, quite a low score today, it was only 3. I thought it would have been more. Elon Musk, but again, that goes into the left-right versus fucking thing, doesn't it? He had 3 stories, which would bring left versus right, third versus third up to 19. And the flat earth, which I can't remember what it exactly was now, just some sort of bizarro fucking, I believe. Oh, it was the 5G fucking shit. Had one thing, me. So there's still a guy out there believe that his brain's getting fried with 5G, even though it's been rolled out in a lot of, if not a lot of major cities, Glasgow included. I am the Mr. Ons. So tune in next week I don't think it'll be Thursday. I think I will change the days, but I will keep these informed, because there might be something better to do on Thursdays. Have a sing-song or something. But I'll give you a heads up, and I'm going to try and get a time and a day and stick to it for a while, so everybody knows where and when you can get it and stuff. And remember, it's about fun, not fear. Think of this as the sort of a Harry Hill's TV burp of the internet world. You know? No casting dispersions. You just know there's people making dicks of themselves out there for fucking reasons they might not even fully understand. And I like to point and laugh at it. Because I do that anyway. Alright, Alan, thanks for watching, my man. Thanks everybody for watching, Blazing. Cheers, my man. OG. Bring it back, sing it back. And everybody that joined, God's Little Helper, Punk on the Whiskey was on earlier on, OG, Stewie was in as well, and 55 was in. Got that Neil Hamilton thing for me, and Richie joined as well, so thanks, man. I now know what you were talking about with the Dyson, mate. Nah, it's not a Dyson, it's a cheap Chinese knockoff. China. Going to warn to them sometime soon. Konnichiwa. Right, so thank you, everybody. I'm going off to watch the Pope, have a cup of tea, and a wee bong. And something to eat. Might treat myself and break out a pot noodle. Right, good night, everybody. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves, man. I love you, brothers. Have you seen the fellas that claim they have an ocular implant from an adoption? Aye, mate. Do you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of my TV conspiracy days. Do you know, like back in the day before the interwebs had kicked off, and you didn't have as easily access to that kind of information as you did when you got fucking on the interwebs, and then you just bukakied yourself with that shit. I'm pretty sure that stuff was out pre-X-Files and all that, mate. And it would show you X-rays with people with wee fucking chips in it and all that. My theory is they would fucking break something off in their hand, quite easily done. Wait for it to heal and then go and get an X-ray it and go, hey man, I've been abducted by aliens. Pay me lots of money for my story. Just a theory, but on Stardog, Stewie, I don't know what the fuck I'm smoking right now. Do you want me to tell you the God's honest truth, right? The dude that I usually use, man. Like, at one point it was all Stardog he had, and that seems to have dried up. And then it's like fucking every fucking weird name you can fucking think of. So I'm like, if you go, I'll take a... Right, see you in a bit. By the time I go and meet him, I forgot to fucking name it. It's like really like pink fruit dangleberry or some shit, man. And then you get it and you look at it. But some of the stuff I'm getting right now is very dark. You know what I mean? Like during the night it gets up and grabs a knife and pretends to stab you. Then goes back in its bag. No, it looks dead kind of purpley blue. So, I hope you did enjoy it, guys. I hope that's even what you're talking about. But make sure to stick a wee thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Next week should be better. We actually watching an old show and we can laugh at old me. Like me taking the piss out of me. That will be a new dynamic. That will be fun. But I'll just laugh at how crazy I used to actually be. Or just, do you know what? I think it's a good thing. Showing people that you don't need to believe in chemtrails for the rest of your life. You can actually allowed to explore the other side without thinking it's some sort of a worldwide conspiracy with planted information to steer you one way or the other. See, when I first started that questions about chemtrails, the first thing that popped into my head, putting my Spock ears on, I try in a bit of logic. I'm like, these chemtrails that people are pointing to are over Westminster and Buckingham Palace and all that. And I'm pretty sure I see these motherfuckers outside walking about without fucking masks on. I think it's some sort of an antidote to the spreading of chemtrails. And then there was a guy called Adam Curry who does the No Agenda show. Some of you may or may not be aware of him. And he's a pilot. Well, he's got his flying license and he's used to present MTV and all that. So back in the day, I'm pretty sure he done more flying than he does now. But back in the day, he used to do a lot of flying. And the long or the short of it, during my exploration of the other side of the argument of chemtrails, because he mocked it so much, I was like, what? Why is he mocking that? And then I found out, there is a kind of explanation. But again, chemtrails was false evidence appearing real. Because on my channel, and I've kept them up for prosperity, the first few videos on my channel that are still up are chemtrail videos. Because now people that believe in chemtrails, have believed in chemtrails, may still believe in chemtrails, get very offended when I kind of laugh at people that believe in chemtrails. But it's like, sorry, man, I need the right to laugh at that shit. To me, it's batshit fucking crazy. It's like flat earth. Yeah, but how do you know, man? How do I know? Well, when I was 16, I saw pictures of the curvature of the earth. How do you... Oh, man, I'm not even going to go over this, right? I'll tell you where I seen the pictures and who by. I worked with a dude whose missus worked for British Airways at the time, who... still ran the Concorde. Concordes used to fly so high that you could see the curvature of the earth. You could see the atmosphere meeting the earth's atmosphere to change of colour. Just fucking amazing pictures he took, man. And idiots online explain that by like concaved fucking windows and shit. See, it sounds like that, but I don't know, man. If you can convince somebody that the earth is flat, you can convince them at anything. That's all I'm saying. Alright, Age of, how you doing, my man? Rabbit holes over 16 year ain't good for mental health. Think fuck I grew up and found a little balance. Mate, that's what it is. It's all about balance. And mate, that's me that's seen fucking 2 UFOs recently. Nah, your video's really good, mate. Mate, if you want to get your video to me, I'll happily show that and put it up. Because it is it is an impressive video, right? Because I know you and all that shit, right? The quality is shit. I'm not saying your camera's shite and all that. I'm just saying the quality shite. See something like that. You would love to have like a fucking 4K fucking state of the art hang on a tripod. Do you know what I mean? But unfortunately, no luck. Listen to the John Finneymore show for some comedy if you need a laugh. See the conspiracy comedy, mate, or just comedy? The windows on a plane are fish eye shape kip, for fuck's sake. There is no curve. Is that what they say, mate? I'm pretty sure when it first came out, I was like, I need to see what some of these crackpots are doing. And you had dudes filming ships coming over the horizon. The flat earth thing has literally took some people's brains back to the Stone Age. And what I mean by that, it was, this is debatable, but some theories have it as the Babylonians were the first to understand through astrology that the earth was a globe. I mean, back in the days at night time, what did you have to do? Play with your dick, shag your woman, or look at the sky. So they looked at the sky a lot while playing with their dick. Hey, 2 birds and 1 stone and all that. BBC Radio Comedy. I need to check it out, Stewie. See on my digital detox, right? Some people say watching some films on Netflix isn't a digital detox. To me, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not sitting in the fucking corner of the room, turning the lights off and fucking rock yourself to sleep. I'm talking about, for me, and the way that shit was not getting to me, but it just was in my psyche. It was all the bings and bongs and sitting fucking looking at your email, expecting fucking the president to email you and fucking tell you Air Force One is all on the way and all that jazz, and that you just won the lottery. Not to sleep with your phone, have some fucking away time from your fucking handset. And I said it at the time as well, like, try and watch a movie without your phone. I find myself, right, see if I don't sit away from my computer and I'm watching a movie, I'm pausing it more and Googling, who the fuck's this? What film's this? Who's he fucking in? So a 2-hour movie turns into 5 hours of fucking Googling fucking actors. Because I don't know, I know actors' faces, just not their names. Right, it's well too late in the day, man. That's fucking over 3 hours of me talking absolute pish. Good night, y'all. Thanks all for joining. Next week will be a fucking different version of this sort of a same show. Modern day clips with some old Kips Clips madness. Have a good night, y'all. Hold on. I need to push a certain button. Well, in fact, I need to push 2 buttons just to make it run that wee bit smoother. Catchies! Kips Clips! And remember, citizens, always subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well. And $19.95 plus shipping and handling will keep you out of hell.